Good morning, my Teaserking family. I have to go with orange today. I went and got avocados last night. They're all too hard to cut into. Normally, it takes about 2 days to get a really, really hard one to ripen enough where you can cut it and eat it. And I got like 10 of them last night, and they're all so hard I can't even, I can't slice it. I try slicing it and unscrewing it. It won't work. So I'm on oranges today, which is okay. You can have some oranges, not too many because of the sugar, but it's not like orange juice. So Dallas beats Tampa 31-14. And Dallas is going to get killed by San Francisco. I wake up to 2 emails saying how bad Brady was. So I watched the film, and I sit there and go, you guys are knocking at the wrong door here. It isn't Brady. Okay, who does he throw the ball to? There's nobody open. It's the play calling sucks. Where was the running attack? There was no running attack, so you couldn't play action pass. So basically, you threw 50 passes. You want to blame Brady? Yeah, blame Brady. He can't run, so this is the problem. So if he was Jalen Hurts or Lawrence or any of these running type of quarterbacks, even this, I keep wanting to call the giant quarterback Sims, but Jones, that's what they do, right? They go back, there's nobody open, they run for 10 yards. That's what they think quarterback play is. Hey, Phil. I don't know if I didn't watch the game. I just watched the film, but let me check the box score and see. I thought White was out there a lot. Let's see. So where everybody gets fooled is they sit there and they look at they'll look at Dallas beating Tampa and they think Dallas is this good team. Again, they made at least 2 bad mistakes going for some fourth downs, which they had no business going for. To Brady, 35 of 66. You want to blame Brady when he's 35-66. 2 touchdowns and an interception. Prescott actually got 4 touchdowns and no picks. And Fournette, now he ran 5 times for 11 yards, probably got hurt because then they went to White, 7 rushes. How do you win with 12 rushes and 60 passes by your quarterback? That, again, goes to coaching. He threw to Godwin 10 times, Jones 10 times. Evans, I find Evans isn't even trying. And then their big problem is this Otten guy. You lost Tag, and who'd you replace him with? Fournette caught 1 pass for 6 yards. So he probably got hurt, and that was about it. Tampa looked like a peewee team. It was embarrassing. Well, no, but okay, they got to the 2-yard line, and you threw 4 passes. And what do I say? You got to run the ball. I don't know if Fournette was in there at the time, but why didn't they run the ball? When you get it first goal at the 2, you want to run a sweep. You want to throw a pass, a short one, and then you want to do Dave Casper on. Normally on second down, you do Dave Casper. So you might pass on first down or run or something. Your next play is Dave Casper. Play action pass, you fake the run, everybody bites on it, and your little tight end's wide open by 50 yards in the end zone. But they don't want to use that play because it fucking works. So they're stuck throwing 4 passes from the 2-yard line. He gets sacked on 1. He gets sacked on the 4th down. That's not Tom Brady's fault when the coach has his head up his ass and doesn't know how to make calls. See, that's where I'm going to argue with that whole, everybody wants to blame Brady. He looked pretty good firing the ball into Evans and Jones. The Jones touchdown pass looked like a pretty fucking good pass to me. I don't know what you're looking at that you want to blame Brady because he has nobody open. And then the thought is, well, it's Brady's fault. Look at Brady. He sucks. He doesn't suck. Who's he going to throw to? Who do you want him to throw to? And every time there was guys open, he threw it to him. All right. He drove him down the field. So I love the kicker on Dallas. Now, if the kicker on Dallas plays next week, the coach should be fired. How the fuck do you miss 4 extra points and you're a college kicker? The Michigan kicker didn't miss 4 extra points the whole year. He shanked 3 to the right and 1 to the left. Okay. Which means he's not accelerating through the swing as you would in golf. When you leave your golf shot to the right because you're leaving the club face open and you're not accelerating, you're slowing down. This kicker's obviously not accelerating through. However, this is a playoff game. You miss 4 extra points. Goodbye. That's like the punt returner who fumbles the punt. I'll give you a second chance. You had your chance. You fumbled it. I can't have another fumble in a playoff game. Goodbye. This is what I don't understand from the coaches. They sit there and then they lose and then they get fired for losing because they have a guy out on the field doesn't know how to do his job. So what I saw, first of all, there was a 4th and 3. Dallas goes for it. Goodbye. Let me have a new coach. Then they scored on a 4th and 2 at the 2-yard line. Should have kicked the field goal. Because these aren't automatic. Now, you're playing a terrible defense in Tampa, which made you look better and smarter than what you're going to see with San Francisco. Now, the big problem everybody's going to have is they're going to go, look what they did to Tampa. Well, let's go back a week and look what they did with Washington. Now, from a betting standpoint, that's what fucks you up. They play and they try against Washington and they lay down and get killed. So you're sitting there going, in a game that you had to win, you got killed. Prescott doesn't do anything. That's where you get matchups. That's what it means. They weren't playing Washington. If they were, they would have lost yesterday. They got Tampa Bay, whose defense was kind of weak, whose coaching sucks. Coaches all there should be fired. They should never have been hired. That's my favorite pet peeve is when you hire a coach you shouldn't hire. Then you wonder, well, like Matt Patricia on the Lions, why would you hire the guy from New England? Why would you hire? Why did Oakland hire that coach from New England? Fire, why would you even hire him? And then you're going to fire him in 2 years. So Patricia's gone. You just wasted 2 years. What are you doing? So that's the biggest part I see. Is you got people that aren't qualified that shouldn't be working there. But then you get into matchups. So Dallas, okay, they beat Tampa. Now, as I said, they get fucked because the game ends Monday night. Now you got to get ready for Frisco, and it's already Tuesday, and the guys need a down day after playing. So you really have what? Maybe a practice Thursday and Friday at the most. So they're really at a disadvantage where the Niners, today they're able to practice, but Dallas is not in any shape or mood to practice. Either Brady is going to retire, stay with Tampa, or go. I think he goes to Oakland. He's not going to retire. There's nothing wrong with Brady. He's better than half. I'd rather have him over Trevor Lawrence or half these bums. Or you want Jeff Mills at Tampa or Webb at the Giants or even Jones at the Giants. I'll take Brady. There's nothing wrong with Brady. It's like you guys want to blame Aaron Rodgers and you want to blame Brady like it's their fault. And the problem I'm seeing is these offensive coordinators are like cloned. It's like the Matrix. They're all Mr. Anderson, and they all are the same, and they all run the same plays, and they all run these stupid plays for the running quarterback. So he goes back, nobody's open, he runs for 10 yards. I'm seeing it with every quarterback's doing this, and it's just freaking ridiculous. This isn't football. Brady and Rodgers got it right. You stay in the pocket and you throw it. But these offensive plays are so boring. Why isn't Tampa running crossing routes against this defense? Dallas sucks. So absolutely shocked by the score. I was shocked when it was 18-0, and the guy missed 3 extra points. And I figured, well, Tampa will come back like Jacksonville did, or like Buffalo did, or Miami did. I mean, that's the funny part. Miami comes back with Thompson, and then Tampa doesn't do anything. In the scheme of betting on the game, it was the right bet. Dallas isn't good. Prescott, I see, didn't throw an interception. Really goes to how weak Tampa's defense is. But again, on paper, they were a 21, and they gave up 31, and Dallas was a 20, and really should have been it should have been at least 31-21 because Tampa had the ball at the 2-yard line. Maybe Fournette's out. If he's there, then it's 31-21, which, close to what we needed. How about Tennessee? What about Brady to Tennessee? Why would he go to Tennessee? They got Ryan Tannehill, another sucky quarterback. No, he's going to go to Oakland. I would have said Frisco, but now they got Brock Purdy. They don't need Brady. Oakland, who do they have as a quarterback? Stidman? Yeah, really? So Oakland grabs them. Now Tampa, they have a really good backup quarterback, not Blake Gabbert, the other guy, Trask from Florida, who got 5 minutes of playing time in the last game. I think he came in the fourth quarter. God knows why they brought Blake Gabbert in. He's terrible. So I don't know. I don't know why he would he wants to retire on the next Super Bowl. So he's going to look for he's going to be like Peyton Manning. He's going to go to a Denver or a good defensive team that needs a quarterback. Maybe that's Baltimore. Maybe that's he'd do well at Philadelphia with their defense. Pittsburgh. But I don't think. I don't know if he's a New York guy, but maybe. I mean, it all depends on what he wants. They have a good defense, but I don't think they're ready to win a Super Bowl. Well, New England, but he's not going to go back there. Miami needs a quarterback, but I don't think he wants to go to Miami. So he wants to go to a place that's fairly good good coaching. Good luck finding that. Maybe he goes to Ohio State or something, or Alabama. They can afford to pay him. I don't know at this point where he wants to go, but that's where he's going to end up. So it'll be a team with a good defense. So it won't be Denver. They got Russell Wilson. Maybe he goes to Seattle. They need a quarterback. They got great receivers. They got Coach Pete. They got a fairly good defense. San Francisco would have been the perfect place until Brock Purdy turns into a superstar. So, yeah, team like Frisco with the great defense. Seattle, great receivers, good running, Walker, good fairly good defense, and Coach Pete. So I could see him going to Seattle. That would make sense. So it's a good receiving, good defensive, good coaching style. So like a Seattle would if I was him, I would go to Seattle with Coach Pete or something like that. Dallas needs a quarterback. Maybe he goes there. Fucking Prescott stinks. So it's a game that Tampa's defense doesn't show up. They don't really blitz Prescott. They let him run a little bit. See, that's the difference. Prescott gets trouble. He runs around for 10 yards. Brady doesn't do that because the coordinators call a stupid offense. They don't know what they're doing. The offensive coordinator of Tampa should have been fired week 2. They've had problems the whole year. It's not Brady. Everybody wants to blame Brady. No, were the receivers open? When the receivers open, Brady nailed them. The Julio Jones touchdown. The guy was barely open. He hits a touchdown. So when they're there, fine. But the problem is Evans didn't seem to care this year. Godwin was okay. And Julio Jones, he never, he played a little bit. Hey, Craig. He played a little bit, but not much. So, I'm tired of, it's Brady. He should retire. No, Brady shouldn't retire. He doesn't need the Brady I saw yesterday. He had nobody open when they had the ball at the 2-yard line. Where is he throwing the ball? Now the interception. So if we get a running attack, we score when he throws the interception at the 2, and then when they got the ball at the 2 again, we run it in. That's 14 points, gives us 31-28, which is what the score I thought would have been. So again, we got the ball at the 2 twice. What do you think is going to happen when Frisco gets the ball of the 2 twice? And do you think Dallas is going to go 4th and 3 and make it? And you think they're going to put up 31 on the Niners? No fucking way. All right. So let's look at the line. We got Kansas City 8.5, 52.5. That's up from 51. We got Philly 7.5, 48.5. That jumped from 47. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Buffalo 4.5. Oh, I love it. 48.5. Oh, I love it. Are you kidding me? 48. What is there? Weather coming? Fucking that's. Oh, I love the over. Oh my God. San Francisco -4, 46.5. There's your free play. Take the Niners -4. Are you fucking kidding me? You're putting the Niners 4 over this Dallas team? See, here's where we make our money. Okay. They look good against Tampa, who is very weak. It's like if they look good against Green Bay. Although they got killed by Green Bay, I believe. They look good against Minnesota, but they got killed by Green Bay. So you have that. We can't check injuries yet. We'll check injuries Thursday. So what jumps out at me is the over in Kansas City, Jacksonville. I still got to dig into the Giants, Philly, Cincinnati in 10.5 and the over, and Frisco in 2 plus over. Frisco +2. I mean, that's a joke. That's you're just giving me money. If you're giving me Frisco -4 against Dallas, really? Oh, okay. So not only do I have Purdy and McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel's back and the best defense in the league, but I'm going against a team that played Monday night, who has to play Sunday, who lost 2 days. I'm going against a team with Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones and all his little, I want to throw up. Oh, he's in the box clapping. Who gives a fuck? So it's a double edge. There's first of all, Dallas ain't going to do shit against this defense. And this line, I have Dallas -10. Now, that was before. I didn't care who they played, Tampa. Or I knew they were going to play Dallas or Tampa. It's a 10. I've already got a teaser on the game because you just knocked my 10 to 4. So I get Frisco +2 at home in a playoff game against Dak Prescott. You got to be fucking kidding me. I got the best team in the league with the best defense. Let's see. Dallas is a 20 under. I got Buffalo, which is an 18. I got Cincinnati, which is a 20. The Giants, which are a 22. Jacksonville, which is a 22. And KC, God knows where they are. So if we look at the game superficially, we got Jacksonville an over team against Kansas City an over team. There are going to be a lot of points. There's good offense and no defense. I don't know where Jacksonville, how they even score with this quarterback, but they should score on KC. We got the Giants, Philly. We got the Giants an even team, so they score mid-20s, give up mid-20s, so they do get some points with a running quarterback against Philadelphia, A team, but Hurts looks like shit, and they had to settle for like 4 field goals last week. And an under, a very good defense of 20. Cincinnati, an 18 with a very good defense of 20 against Buffalo, which is kind of an over team now since they lost Von Miller. The defense stinks. How are they going to beat Cincinnati? And you're giving me 10.5. Jesus Christ. We're going to make some money this week. And then you got Dallas, which is a B team with an under defense of a 20 against an A team in the Niners with the under defense of 16 points. So Frisco's way the better team here with way the better coach and way the better quarterback. The only Dallas has Micah Parsons. Outside of that, it's the Niners are better quarterback, better running back, better receiver, better defense, better coach. And they're at home, and they're more rested because they played Saturday. So they get like 9 days, and then here's Dallas playing Monday night. Now, don't you forget that. So now I got to go back to Dallas, which they probably did last night. They're probably going through shit today, but not practicing. They're exhausted. They played till midnight last night, right? So what time did they take a 2 a.m. flight, and they're back at 4 a.m.? Couple-hour flight to Dallas from Tampa. I don't know. So that's how I look at next weekend when I look at everything. Now I got to trend it all. So I got to update my stats on that. If I go with last week's stats, San Francisco is a good play team. Philly, Cincy, and Buffalo play against Tampa. Yeah, that won. Play against Kansas City. That makes me, well, I can't play Jacksonville. Baltimore's out, Minnie's out, San Diego's out. So we will see. But the best plays are Frisco, Philly, Cincinnati, and Buffalo in a teaser. You're giving me Cincinnati and 10.5. Thank you. Yeah, maybe I heard some guys got injured. They'll probably play, and if they don't, it doesn't. I got Joe Burrow and Chase. That's all I need. I got the best quarterback and the best receiver in the league that you haven't seen since Brady's prime and Joe Montana. This is Montana and Rice. For all those who haven't seen the 80s, you have Montana and Rice on Cincinnati, the best receiver and the best quarterback together. Now, everybody bitches at me about the Niners. Well, they had Jerry Rice, not the first 4 years, and they won 2 Super Bowls. Now, here you go. You got it again on Cincinnati. And wait, and I'm playing it. They get Bote. He's better than John Taylor. It'd be like getting I don't know, another Wes Chandler or somebody to add to that. Ryan, -4 is crazy. I was thinking, well, I had 10. KC 8.5 is also crazy. Should be 14. Well, I think what they're looking at is Jacksonville's ability to come back, and KC doesn't have that monster defense. That's what's preventing KC. They're an over team, right? So that's why the over went up. I don't know why Cincy Buffalo would go down. You're giving me 48.5. Buffalo can't stop the wind. TCU would put up 30. Georgia would put up a 50 on Buffalo. So I don't know what they're drinking, but if a couple of guys in the secondary for Cincinnati are hurt or questionable, or that makes this go up even higher. Buffalo can score. They can't stop. They couldn't stop Skylar fucking Thompson. What are you gonna? He puts him up. He puts 30 points on him, right? 34-31 against Skylar Thompson. What do you think Cincinnati's going to do against them? They're going to be in the 40s. They might get the over by themselves, Cincinnati. Look for them to just be explosive at all hell. And you get Cincy in 10.5. I don't know which one I like better. I don't normally like to play the teaser in the same game, so Cincinnati and the over. So what I tend to do, I'll play Cincinnati maybe with San Francisco, or I'll play the over with Kansas City over or with Philly or something. I kind of mix it up. That's what I like to do. So again, I had Tampa Bay small. This is the point of betting that you need to understand. My lock was San Diego and Cincinnati. I also had Buffalo with Cincinnati. So I lost to Buffalo, but that was small because of the point spread, right? That's why I wanted to get it under 3. That's why it's critical to get it under 3. And then I have Tampa, but I have them very small. I didn't, both of the Buffalo Tampa were very small, but the big bet. So I go 1 and I lose 2, but my 1 was so big, I make money because I bet it more because that was the lock. And it was the lock because I got San Diego in 4.5, and I had Cincinnati only minus 2.5, and they happened to win by 7. They could just as easily as won by 3 if Baltimore scores at the end. Although Baltimore would have probably went for 2 and fucked everything up. Anyway, so that's how you really make money on the teasers. When you find your lock, you bet it hard. And then when you see a game like Tampa, you go, well, I don't love it, but they're the home dog. It's Brady. Okay, I'll take Brady as a home dog, but I'm not going to bet a lot on it. So that's how you skew the bet. That's how you bet anything, right? You try to do that. So the one you love, San Francisco, Cincinnati over, those you pound, right? That's a big fucking bet. I got San Francisco and 2 points. Are you serious? I'm posting this, Nick, right after the video. I might not even wait for the video to end to post. How can they make San Francisco 4? Now that comes into popularity that Dallas is more popular. They're going to get the money. They look good against Tampa. As I say, they're not playing Tampa next week, and they're not at home. They're at San Francisco, the best team in the league with the best quarterback now. Him, Mahomes, Burrow, they're all the best. They're all number ones. They got McCaffrey. They got Samuel back. They got the best defense. You're just going to go in there and win. Really, Dallas, with Dak Prescott? How many interceptions is he going to throw? 3? How he didn't throw one yesterday is a mystery, but they didn't really blitz him. See, again, they don't understand you blitz the running quarterback because he wants to run, and they don't get that. Is Brady done? Not if he doesn't want to be. If he's ready to play, he'll play. He's better than half the league anyway. He's not the reason they lost. I mean, he threw 60 times. Who's making those play calls? So the coach has this just gets away from the running game. And, I'm watching the highlights now. I don't like the highlights anymore because they only show like 3rd down or 4th down. And for some reason, they showed the guy missing the extra points. Why? The guy misses an extra point. Why are they showing me that? Is that a highlight that he missed the extra point? And then the next one. And then, and I knew he missed 3 because I could see the score is 18-0. He missed the extra points. Why are you showing me? That's not a highlight. I don't need to see that. Why don't you show me some more plays going on? Now, I did look at when you go into Yahoo's scores and you go into when you go into the game, it gives you drives. So I went into drives, which shows you what they did each time. And they didn't really just hand the ball to Fournette for 2 yards on 1st and 2nd down. And then Brady. I saw a lot of Brady incomplete passes, and it frustrates you going, what the fuck? And a lot of them is he's getting pressure and nobody's open. Is you going to blame Brady for that? He held the ball. Now, the interception in the end zone, I don't know what he was doing there. I thought it was Aaron Rodgers against the Lions throwing interceptions on purpose in the end zone. Was the game fixed? I don't think so. If it was by the Tampa Bay coaching staff with the ridiculous calls and lack of any type of intelligence. Why you would hire these guys as your coaches? What the fuck are you doing? Arians was good. There you could have replaced him with. I bet you if you brought in Urban Meyer, unless he really hates Michigan that much and won't coach Tom Brady, he would have been perfect for this job. Sort of like when Dallas in the 90s and Jimmy Jones fires Jimmy Johnson, and they bring in Barry Switzer from Oklahoma. He comes in, he wins the Super Bowl. All he did was say, go play, boys. I'll get out of the way. Okay, that's what they needed. If they would have hired Urban Meyer, here you got Tom Brady. We just want you for a year. Go win us the Super Bowl. He'd have won a Super Bowl for him. That's what if Urban had Tom Brady and this team, he'd and Julio Jones, so he'd have an Alabama player. They would have won the Super Bowl. They would not have been this bad. This was a result of the coaching, bad, terrible play calling. I mean, that's what you have. I mean, you have horrible play calling all over the league, but the difference is, like this Daniel Jones on the Giants, he goes back, nobody's open, but instead of looking down the field and looking for a second thing, what does he do? He sits there and he runs. I mean, they go back 1, 2, okay, and I run for 10 yards. That's the problem I have with them. Brady looks and looks and looks, as Mahomes does, where they're looking, and Roethlisberger did it, where they're looking for the receiver. They don't really want to run if they don't have to, and they buy time. And let's not forget when KC won their Super Bowl, the play he hit Tyreek Hill on for like 50 yards. He was in the pocket. He kind of moved around and waited and waited and waited. He probably was there 5-6 seconds. He didn't look to run, and then he hits Tyreek Hill. So that's really the style you want, not the Daniel Jones who goes back 1,001, 1,002. Okay, I'll run and I'll pick up 5 yards or 10 yards. Like they think that's a good play, but you don't score with that shit. But that's the problem. Those are the plays that Tampa called. Nobody got open. How the fuck you got Evans, Julio Jones, and Godwin, and nobody can get open? And then where's your backs? Okay, Fournette, let's say he got hurt, and then you got the White from Arizona State. I would never take a back from Arizona State. They always suck. Or a receiver. They always suck. So that's what you have there. Just terrible coaching by Tampa. But that's what we've had the whole year. And really, there was nothing Brady could do. You were hoping they would have done what they did against Cincinnati, where they lit up Cincinnati in the first half. They got up like 17-0. Where were those play calls, the men in motion and all that? So it's just pathetic. So it makes Dallas look like a better team. Well, which team are they? The team that got killed by Washington when they tried, or the team that beat Tampa? So everybody forgets the Washington game. The difference, Washington also has a very strong defense like San Francisco, and Dallas got a whole 6 points on Washington. That's what you're looking at this week. Dallas getting a whole 6 points against Frisco. They're not going to have wide open receivers, and Prescott, go for it on 4th and 3 against 49ers, see what happens. They'll shove it right back in your face. This spread's absolutely a joke. I'm going to make my bet like as soon as we're done. Frisco in 2. That's just Frisco's a 10-point favorite, right? I'm worried. Well, can I lay 4? Dallas wins. I go, well, it'll probably be 8. I'm hoping 8.5 or 8. And I can go under 3. Now I'm actually getting 2. And here's where I argue with the guy saying you can't go over 0. And I tell them to fuck themselves, because this is a perfect example. You go from 4 to 2 because you thought it was going to be 10 to 4. The spread should be 10, so you're going to lay 4, maybe. All right, 7, I'll lay 1. Here, I'm getting 2 points. I'm getting, I don't care about crossing 0. It's stupid. It doesn't matter. Anybody that says that is a freaking idiot, because if you know how to design your own line, we know it should be a minimum of 7, if not 8 or 9 here. We know the line's wrong because Vegas can't do a line right. So therefore, that's what you have here. So I want to highlight my guys. All right. Now, another thing is I'm not going to fuck with the over-under in this game. It's clearly Frisco +2. The over-under is 46. What am I going to do? Fuck with Dallas's defense and go, well, I'm going to go over 40? or I'm going to go under 52. And, I can't go over, but it's Dallas, who's more of an over team. This game, I would say, is under because I think Frisco shuts them down. That's what I think. So we had a 45 yesterday. It landed right on it. I had the game picked under Dallas-Tampa, but I took Tampa in the 8.5. If Tampa's favored by 3, this was an easy. I'm teasing the dog in this game because I don't really trust Dallas at all. But as it was pointed out yesterday, so the first 4 games go over. Why? We had an over against an under Seattle-Frisco. We had 2 over defenses, San Diego-Jacksonville. We had 2 over defenses, Miami-Buffalo. And we had 2 over defenses, the Giants and Minnesota. So naturally, the scores are going to be high. Then you get into Baltimore-Cincy with more defense. It's an under. And then we have Dallas-Tampa, a little more defense with Dallas and not much scoring with Tampa. It stays under. Or you could have bet all of them over and won, or the last 2 under with their defenses and won that. So that's the beauty of the teaser. You can win both ways. So now you have 2 overs in Kansas City, Jacksonville. I would expect a high-scoring game there. Giants, Philly. It's tough because Philly's got that strong defense. The Giants have a good defense. Hurts has been hurt. He's not, what he used to be. Is he still going to run? Probably. It's a playoff game. The Giants could easily win this game. Philly hasn't shown me anything in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Hurts has been injured. His timing's off. He gets a bye to heal, but he loses timing. So the Giants could easily. They played them twice already, so they're not in awe of them. That's the advantage when you play the divisional games. So Philly and the Giants, Philly kills them by 50. Then the next game you don't know because the Giants don't play. Instead of playing to win and then beating them, causing them the 1 seed, and then, and then now having confidence, now they don't. Well, we didn't play, and we only lost by 6. Well, imagine if we would have played. Well, you don't know. That's the problem. So that's the problem when you got a coach with his head up his ass, resting his players. Just idiotic. Then we got Cincy, Buffalo. We got an under. We got really 2 under defenses, but the way Buffalo's defense is, it's not an under anymore. It's an over. So Buffalo's turned into an over team. Jim Kelly. Allen, he'll throw because their offense is designed for these little dinks, which is what Cincinnati does, which is why you can't really stop them. And so they should get some pretty good score in this game. And then we have Dallas Frisco's really 2 under defenses. But you're going to get points from Prescott on his interceptions. And so that really makes it difficult. So I was surprised they didn't get the interceptions yesterday that they normally get. So now you got to look at things different. Now Jacksonville's not a home dog. They are a road dog, and I think they're pretty good as a road. I got to do those stats. I'll do that today. Giants is a good road dog. Philly's a good home favorite. Cincy is a road dog, is outstanding. Buffalo's a home favorite. We just got a feel of them tangling with a real tough Miami team with no quarterback. Dallas is a lousy road dog, and Frisco is a very strong thing. The best team this year was San Diego in a teaser and against, and Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay comes through playing against, unfortunately. KC is a play against team, but I'm not fucking with that. I'm just going to look at the over-under and maybe KC minus 2.5. I don't know that it was that. It wasn't an Oakland-Miami 74 where Oakland has no chance against Pittsburgh the next week because you can't get up. But they weren't jacked up high against San Diego. They don't know how to do that. The coach is too weak to do that. So it's not like they got all upset, all emotional for the game. And, like Oakland and Miami were, right? They were ready to kill each other. So it's not like you got that big thing. And then it was just a good comeback in the second half. I don't think that was that emotional that, they're going to be flat this week. Not that they can beat KC. I just don't see, Lawrence, you watch KC, we'll play that tight man-on-man also. Question is, will they play it the whole game? But good luck for Jacksonville stopping Mahomes. The difference is they're not going to stop. When they come out of the second half, it's going to be 0-0, not 27-0. Like, that's San Diego's mistake. They didn't come out like it's 0-0. They came out like, we're up 27-0. We don't have to play. We've already won. That's why they lost. Had they came out 0-0 and kept scoring, that's why you see these college games. Ohio State wins 56-10. They're up 28-0 at half. Well, they don't. They come out the second half with the same intensity and score as they did in the first half. They don't say, well, we're up 28-0. We won't try. TCU and Michigan, TCU certainly came out in the second half, played the same fucking game they played in the first half. How do you sit there with the 27-0 lead, think you won, and relax and change your whole offense and defense? Who does that? So we'll see how long the San Diego coach is there. But you got Herbert, a fucking superstar, and Keenan Allen. Or Williams didn't play. The other receivers. Who is that number 7? That guy's a fucking all-pro, that guy. I think he was a tight end or a receiver. That guy was fucking great on San Diego. Big guy. You couldn't tackle him. So you got all this talent on San Diego, and Khalil Mack and Bosa played and James played on the defense. And you give up 28, you give up 31, really, to Trevor Lawrence after you got 4 interceptions from him? That's Don Coryell football. What are you doing, man? So that was really we're not going to see that here. Jacksonville will get some points. They got no chance to win. Don't ever think Jacksonville's beating Kansas City. No. We'll leave that to Cincinnati. Giants, Philly, you could have the upset there. Cincy, Buffalo, Cincinnati's going to win. You're getting 4.5. You get 10.5. Jesus Christ, what is Vegas doing? And then Frisco, easy over Dallas by at least 14. How the fuck do you do the 4? So superficially, those are how I look at it. Let me check injuries. I know Cincy, I heard on this BetMGM idiots that there was some injuries to like Eli Apple or whatever. I don't know. Is he out? Who knows? We'll check injuries. What's today? Tuesday, probably Thursday. It's really a lot of people are questionable, especially Dallas. They're all questionable, but then when they get by Friday, then you have a good feel of okay. Now I don't know. I'm not expecting. I am surprised the over Buffalo went from 50 to 48. So I will have to check why. If it's Burrow Chase, is it T Higgins? Is it, what is it? I mean, because if you lost some secondary on Cincinnati, that thing should go up. So, again, this is how you analyze. You go, well, it's 50. Now it's 48, which is a joke. This should be a 55, Cincinnati, Buffalo. And to tell you the truth, KC, Jacksonville should be 55. You got strong offenses and no defenses. Mahomes will pick them apart. This is a joke here. So my guess it'll be KC against Cincinnati in the championship game, and I would say Philly and Frisco, although the Giants, it could be the Giants and Frisco. That's what San Francisco's hoping for. They get the home field, but we'll see how Philly plays. I think they'll come out, but it's going to be a struggle against the Giants. The Giants had a good win. Well, they beat Minnesota, so the Lions beat Minnesota. What does that say? So they'll have a little bit of confidence, but laying down against Philly, this is where it's costing them. Had they played Philly their best game and beat them, they'd go in now going, we can beat, they'd be playing San Francisco. But they would have, because it's so psychological. If you ever play somebody, it's all psychological. If he beats you all the time, you go in thinking, I can't beat this guy. Like in racquetball, there's one guy I could never beat, and there's another guy I beat all the time. So depending on who I played, I knew if I could win or not. One guy just killed me. He was like an A player, and I was not. I was never an A player. And he just like sevened out everything. He just grounded it out, and I just walked off the court, and I go, this This isn't fun. If you want to go and 7 out everything or crack it out, if you want to play me that way, and you know I'm not an A player, go fuck yourself. So, like I do at poker, if you don't want to, if I say nice hand and you don't want to acknowledge me, go fuck yourself. I don't live like that, right? So, if I'm playing somebody without like golf, I'm a very good golfer. And if I play somebody, like 100, I kind of, well, I don't take it easy because golf's sort of, I'm not playing them, I'm playing the course. So that's kind of a bad example. But if you're playing like racquetball, let's say, and I know it's got to be a game where you play again, like tennis or racquetball, where you're playing the other player. So if it's golf or bowling, it doesn't really matter. I'm not really playing the other player. I'm playing the course and I'm getting my best score. But I thought that was insulting when this guy keeps 7ing out because he was a really good player. I said, well, this isn't fun. This isn't, we're just out, two guys playing racquetball for fun. There was no money on the line. So I'm like, I go, this isn't fun. If you want to play like this, go play with yourself. I don't want anything to do with it. This isn't fun. You're not making it fun and you're insulting me and disrespectful. So I just left the court saying, well, just go play by yourself. I don't need to play racquetball and get cracked out and I play things to enjoy. I go swim to enjoy, I hot tub to enjoy, women to enjoy, sports to enjoy. And when I don't enjoy them, like at poker with the idiot, I get up and leave. It's not enjoyable. It's a waste of time. So I told the guy, you're wasting my time. I don't want anything to do with it. 7-out man. Hope you have a bounce back week. I had a very good week because I bet the lock heavier than I bet the other games. I won the lock. So that's what you mean. And really, I went 4-2 in my picks. So we win Frisco, we win San Diego, we lose Buffalo, we win the over in Minnesota, we win Cincinnati, and we lose that. So I went 4-2. So I don't know what you're talking about, bounce back week. That's a bad week for me, 4-2. But the lock wins San Diego, Cincy, which I bet 5 times the amount on that game than the others. Very small bet on Buffalo and on Tampa. So the 2 I lose are much smaller than what I win. So not quite sure what you're saying there. Anyway, so that's a preview of next week. We'll see what happens. Keep your eye on the updates. Keep your eye on the injuries. And you've got to remember, Dallas is not playing Tampa next week, right? They're playing the best team in the league. Okay. And the same thing, Cincy Buffalo, it's a little bounce back from the game that Cincy was up 7-3 5 minutes in. So Cincy will move the ball on Buffalo and will score, and don't fuck with Joe Burrow. I got 4 now. I got 10.5 in Joe Burrow. Oh my God. Your site says you went 1-2 on your plays, 127. I haven't updated my site for the games that just ended because it just ended yesterday night. So I'm not quite sure what you're reading, but there's nothing on my site that will say won loss for this week. Let me take a look, but I didn't play 3 games. And until I put wins and losses, there's really nothing on the site. Did you look at the date? But even last week, I had a winning week. So let's take a look. What are you talking about? Into the Teaser King site. And now we hit the history tab here, which shows the history. So if you're looking at week ending January 16th, there's nothing there. I haven't put the wins and losses in, so I don't know where you're getting 1 and 2. if you go to the previous week, I got a lot more winners than losers the previous week. So you can see where then I put the results in. So not really clear where you're seeing 1 and 2 because I don't have history up. But nothing, there's nothing posted. You can see the plays, right? But that's it. So I hit the lock 2,700 and then I lose 17. So I'll lose 32. So if you're adding it up, yeah, I lose a little bit, but let's see. I'm up 102,000 this year. 58 in the pros, 28 in college, and the locks are up 39,000. So, or 36,000. So, yeah, well, I know I lost Tampa and I know I lost Buffalo, which I just said, but I hit more on the Cincy San Diego one. So, I'll keep it open because I want to enter the San Francisco and the over and Buffalo and all the other stuff. Yeah, well, let's go to injuries as long as you got me in here. It's under history. Yeah, that's what I showed you. Yeah, it wasn't a tough week. Not really. It's about, like I said, Buffalo, I bet a small one on because of Skylar Thompson. Cincinnati was a lock with Lamar out, but I'm betting on Burrow. And then yesterday, I didn't love Tampa, but they're a home dog. Dallas doesn't show up against Washington. So, nothing real big. It was just a small bet. So let's see. Buffalo, McKenzie, questionable the hamstring. Von Miller, we know, is out. Micah Hyde's out. Let's go. Cincinnati, cornerback questionable. Guard question. I don't see any injuries here. There's nothing new. Dallas, tough to get a read on Dallas. They just played. Jacksonville. Smoot, he's good. He's out with an Achilles. And I love Ridley's out because he bet on football. Chocolatey Clear, they keep moving him back on Kansas City. Nobody big on KC. The Giants, a guard out, a lineman out, a linebacker out. I don't know any of these players. A lineman out, defensive lineman, and a bunch of wide receivers are so nobody important on the Giants. Philly, let's see, defensive end, defensive tackle out, defensive end questionable at the head, another defensive end on IR, Bradley, linebacker out, cornerback out. So nothing really new. Well, January 7th, you lost the linebacker and you lost the defensive end and you lost the defensive tackle. So there's a lot of injuries to the defense I see. So it makes me like the offense. The Niners, nothing major. A cornerback's questionable. A wide receiver Jennings, who I never heard of, questionable. So not much there. And that's it. So I don't see anything really with Cincinnati that you just push the line down. Now it gets to weather. Are they expecting a high wind, high snow day? That's the last little piece that we have to analyze. Are they calling for that, causing, it's going to be bad weather, so you're not going to get the over. Now, unless it's wind, I don't care. It'll go over with snow. Just wind will kill the over. Anyway, So I don't see anything. So let's go to weather then. Fuck it. We're in class. We go to all weapons here. And while we're here, we'll take a quick look at gold. Gold price today is down $11 at 1906. No real reason. See, again, JP Morgan doesn't want gold to run, and silver's down. So nothing big there. Still over 1900 on COMEX, which is not even reality. All right, let's go to Buffalo NFL weather. Buffalo Bills, what was this game is Saturday? No, this game's Sunday. Well, we'll go to Buffalo's weather. Weekend weather forecast. Friday, 35, winds 18 miles an hour. Next weekend, Saturday, 24, nothing. Sunday, 23. Uh, 15 miles an hour wind. This is Sunday's game. Yeah, this is the early game Sunday. Humidity 84, sunrise, sunset, scattered snow showers during the morning, then partly to mostly cloudy for the afternoon, high 23, winds 10 to 20, chance of snow 30%. So you do have a little bit of wind, but not, they're saying 15 miles an hour. So I don't see it really causing this too bad. Now we'll have to keep an eye on it. So let's just verify that this is Sunday. I believe it's the Sunday afternoon game, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, because KC, yeah. It's Sunday at 3 o'clock. Why are they doing it at 3? I hate when they do that. What is their problem? So Saturday, the KC game's at 4:30. What are we supposed to do till 4:30? And then an 8:15 Philly game. What the fuck? Why do we want to watch at 8:15 till midnight? And then Sunday doesn't start till 3 and then 6:30. What is it? Better ratings? If you tell the game at 10 a.m., you're going to get full viewership. It doesn't matter. So 3 o'clock, 6:30, again, this is just so stupid. This is the executives going, well, we'll make more money if we start the game at 3 than if you started at 1 when everybody's used to watching it. So now you got to fuck everybody up. It's going to be Sunday at 1. They're going to go, where's the game? And then at 6:30, you got dinner time. You want to watch, you want to go to dinner. You don't want to watch the game. So you wait, the game's over at 7, you go to dinner. Now you're fucked with dinner. You're carrying out Chinese or pizza. All right. So, fortunately, my girlfriend in the Ukraine had this happen to her. A missile hits the apartment building. Fortunately, this was not her apartment building. And fortunately, she's fine. But this is what I kind of get pissed off about is people, like I say, oh, my girlfriend's in the Ukraine and they don't give a fuck. And I'm like, look, you motherfuckers, this is what, try living in these conditions and then see if anybody gives a fuck about you. It really pisses me off because they're fucking getting missiles into their apartment buildings. What is Putin's strategy there? Well, I'm going to waste this was like a big Stinger missile. This is like a missile used for aircrafts, and he hits an apartment complex. Great military strategy. What do you think there? This is where the head of the Ukraine army is in an apartment complex in this little city. That's what I hate. Um, now I'll show you. I'll show you my girlfriend for quickly, just so you have an understanding. This is us on vacation. Where is what the fuck? Where are the pictures I have of her? Okay, this is what they do in the Ukraine. She wears this shirt, "I'm Ukrainian," as pride, right? Do you ever see anybody with an American shirt on? So they do that a lot there for pride. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm Ukrainian, even in the middle of this fucking Russian blown up buildings. So I just want to give you a flavor of we have it in America. Nobody's bombing us yet. We do it to ourselves. There's probably more violence in New York and LA than these little bombings that they're getting in the Ukraine. But this is an FYI because you don't know what's going on unless you have a girlfriend who's texting you every day explaining what's going on, or you look at the show. So I don't know what happened on that play, Prophet, as far as the Brady interception, but he's under pressure, bad play calling. We've already discussed that. You can't blame Brady for the game. He was under pressure, no running attack, terrible coaching. So anyway, so that's the flavor of like in a war where you're getting bombed versus us sitting here worrying about Tom Brady. Just I thought I'd bring that up because I was worried when I saw that on Sky Australia where they did that. Anyway, so as we saw, gold is basically even on COMEX, which we don't give a fuck about. Again, they're working on. There's a big economic summit in Europe with all the Nazis, Soros, and probably JP Morgan and all the communist fucking leaders who are trying to kill us. I heard they're trying to they're getting a day where we all lose power so they can show whatever scaring us. I guess they're trying to scare us like Putin's trying to do. So with that said, gold should go up as the more they scare, but they're going to come out with the dollar backed by gold. So that's where we get to. What else? So I go to get my car done, and we're talking about Las Vegas yesterday and just how it's changed. So when I used to go, it's the $3 steak. There's coffee shops. If you ever watched the movie Vegas Vacation, they go to the coffee shop in the morning. They don't have those anymore unless you're at the Tuscany or these off the strip hotels. It's like if you go to Caesars, it's a food court, which is extremely expensive. They do have a place they sell like a cake or a bagel, but again, it's not a sit down coffee shop that you get. So we were just talking how it changed. When I used to go, you get a hotel cheap. Now the hotels are not only expensive, but they add this resort fee because they're screwing Priceline and bookings. If they charge $100 for the room, they give, let's say, bookings 20%. They give them $20. Then they add this resort fee because they really want to sell the room for $170. But if they put it for $170, they got to give more money to. They want to give more money to. They want to give more money to keep more money and not give money to these the price lines, but that's where they're getting their customers is from Priceline and everything. So that's what we have. Let me just message this guy. So they're trying to screw Priceline, but that's how you get the people. They go on Priceline and look to save money because you're so expensive, and then this resort fee is just ridiculous. So what happens is these new execs come in from MGM and Caesars, and they go, well, we're going to run it like a business. It's not a business, it's a casino. And they're saying we're going to charge more for the hotel. We're going to charge more for the food. We're going to have these stupid clubs where the kids can do. So we're catering more to these little kids from LA coming down, not to the gamblers, but we're casinos. That's how we make our money, is people coming and betting. Then they changed the tables to $50. I remember playing at Caesars, $5 blackjack. Now it's 50, so you're chasing me away. Your high food prices are chasing me away. Your shops, I'm not going to buy anything there. You're chasing me away. Your high-priced hotel, I'm not even going to stay there. So you're making zero on me on the gambling, and you're trying to make money on me at the on the food. Like you don't even have a coffee shop. I remember I took my kids when they were young, 5, 6, 7 years old. Maybe 8. We'd go to the coffee shop in the morning. We'd all get these omelets, and we loved the big blackberries that were so tasty. I never really got blackberries before. And we'd go there every day for breakfast, and we'd get the omelets. The kids would get cereal or something, French toast. But you could sit down and have a breakfast. Now they've taken that. Now I don't think they have that. I was there Thanksgiving a couple years ago, and I'm playing poker. I go, I'm hungry. It's 10 o'clock. There wasn't a restaurant open. It's just ridiculous. So that was what we were talking about, me and the sales manager at Toyota, as I'm waiting for my oil change. So he brings up Vegas. I go, well, have you gone? I go, I have no interest. There's no point. I don't even want to go to MGM in Detroit because their restaurants are very expensive. Again, they're missing the point. You go to gamble, the blackjack tables are $50. Crap tables like 25, 35 minimum. Back racks like 35 minimum. Who the fuck's going to play? I want to play $5 where I can play a $50 risk and then play $5 a unit and go. That's how I want to play. I'll risk $60, maybe $100. I'm not going to pull out $1,000 and play blackjack in a scam blackjack table that I know is fixed, right? So I'm not going to do that. Or craps, I might play if it's $5, but not for 25, 35 minimum. Then I play the numbers and the come and the pass bet and play the odds, and I got $500 on the table. And here comes Mr. 7. So that's kind of what we're talking about. So what we liked in the old days is it's a $3 steak. The room was cheap if you went Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And there was a lot of good restaurants you could eat at, and then the gambling, and then the sports. And you could sit at a chair in the sport. Now they want $150 at Caesars to watch the football game, which is absurd. You have again, you can't even find a restaurant. They're not restaurants. There's a food court that closes at 7 or 8. That is not, it's just crap. It's like a fat burger or something. Yeah, I want to pay $15 for a fat burger. At least if I have a good chef cooking it and it's $15, that's one thing. But when you it's like bringing in McDonald's and charging $15 for the burger. Go fuck yourself. So the food court's ridiculous. Very expensive. So basically, it's a lot. And I don't know who really, okay, I'm rich. The gold goes up. I'm a millionaire. I'm still not paying $25 to eat there. I mean, they can still go fuck themselves. The market's here. I'm a believer in this is the market. This is what I'm willing to pay. And you're up here. And I'm not going to come up to you. If I can afford it or not, fuck you. This is what I'm willing to pay. And then it drives you out. So the casinos are driving you out instead of staying. So you go, you don't stay at Caesars. God forbid you park your car. I don't know what's that costing you? $20, $25 to park your car for the day, maybe more. So you're not really parking your car. You're kind of walking more. And where you stay, okay, you go in the pool type of thing, which I don't think costs. I think certain spots, certain pools might cost, but most of them, no. And then you're not really shopping there. So you're leaving to go to a better mall that's more normal. And that's the problem with Vegas, but they don't see it. So they're up here and the market's down there, and they're thinking, we'll get all these rich people to come in who are, this is their market. And the problem is, even there, they're still at this market. So I don't know how they get people in their hotel rooms, probably comps. I don't know who's parking there. I don't know who's eating there. And you better eat there. I don't know where you go for breakfast. Anytime after 8, the shopping's closed and the restaurants are closed. Even the food court's closed. So I don't know where you go, or you could go spend $60 at a buffet, which I'm sure is the same crap you got at a $10 buffet. So that's what we were talking about. And then all the gambling is very expensive. So if I'm running Caesar's Palace, I'm firing all my management. Whoever thought of these stupid ideas, they're all fired. Just like the football coaches who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Because I make money on the gambling because the odds are so stacked in my advantage. And the slot machines are where, so they're driving people to the slot machines because you can still play a quarter slot machine or $1 slot machine. So you got $50. You say, well, I'm going to go play slot machines. I can't play blackjack, craps, backrack. You can go play poker. I do play poker there. That's all I can play there is poker. And then in the poker room, I can kind of watch the football game because I got it on a TV, but you missed the whole experience. The whole experience was it's like you're at the movies. It's dark, big screens, and the game's on, and there's 3-4 games at the same time. So they've blown the experience. So why do I want to go there? And I feel like you're cheating me. So it's really a bad thing to go to now. So I said, there's no point. I don't enjoy it. It's like the racquetball player cracking it out on me. That's no fun. Why do I want to go on vacation that I don't want to spend $100 on a steak dinner? I don't need to. I make my own meals. So when I do go there, I end up going to CVS to get like a tuna sandwich and cantaloupe and a Diet Coke. And then I take it and I eat it in the casino. It's because there's no place to really eat it at CVS. But that's basically what they've done is they are making CVS a lot of money because people go eat there. It's different than like here. Here they don't really have the salads and the cantaloupe and all that they have in Vegas. But you go there, they're packed. Everybody is there. So I really don't get the point of chasing people out of your casino. There's nothing to eat. And there's nothing, and then these clubs at $300-$400 to get in. You got to be out of your mind. To do what? Here's some music. Big fucking deal. I'm going to Vegas for sports and gambling. I'm not going to Vegas to go into a nightclub or whatever these clubs are to listen to music. What is that? I'm sorry, I don't get that at all. Not for $300. So I'm missing that whole structure of this is what they want, and the kids don't gamble. Well, they don't gamble because you make your blackjack table $50 and nobody's sitting on them. So instead of having a bunch of $5 or $10 tables packed and everybody losing their money, you got $50 tables with nobody sitting at. Again, you're fired. This is like the Dallas kicker who can't kick an extra point. Profit. Vegas is totally sold out. I remember when you could get a free breakfast, all types of comps, free rooms, free parking. Well, the parking was they never charged for parking. As far as the comps, I think I go play poker now at MGM downtown Detroit, and you get like $1 an hour of play, but it runs out. It's only good for a month. I'm not coming back every day to play poker here. I got better things to do. But why are my comps running out? So they're just missing the whole point. the $50 blackjack tables, there's people there, but I don't get it. Who makes that kind of money? Maybe all the Bernie Madoff crowd, I guess, the rich people. But are they all sitting there in downtown Detroit at the MGM? I don't think so. Or even in Vegas. Or where are they at? They're all at Caesars or Bellagio, and they all can play. All I know is I walk by the $50 blackjack tables. There's nobody sitting there. You're sending the wrong message. It's like, I don't know. You got a grocery store and all your tomatoes are $20, and you wonder why nobody's buying them. Well, who the fuck's got $20 to buy a tomato or corn or whatever Oreo, whatever your product is? Who the fuck's got the money to do that? And that's my point. You just don't have it. But Vegas is missing the point. You're fucking casinos. Now, do you think with the competition and now these DraftKings and FanDuel that people are sitting at home gambling? Really? No, you go to the casino for the ambiance. You go to watch the game in the dark on the big screen. You go for the shopping. You go for the eating. But you've made all that up. Like, I would never sit in my house and play blackjack like Jamie Foxx on the stupid commercials. That guy's really turning me off now. Hey, Nick. Can't believe that game last night. Hopefully Brady, it's not Brady's fault. Only way he can win is if every single piece of the puzzle. No, that's wrong. He won't want Vegas, too many front office issues. Well, maybe. It's a good fit for him, but the coach sucks. Maybe he goes to Philly or some team with a good defense. I'd say the Niners, but now they got Brock Purdy. They don't need him. Before Brock Purdy would have been a perfect place. Strong defense and this, and now you got him in McCaffrey. But don't blame him for yesterday. It wasn't his fault. He threw the ball 60 times. Where was the running game? Where are the little swing passes, the screens, the whole line play calling of let's pass 4 times from the 2? Where was the Dave Casper play? Where was the play action passes? That you can't blame Brady. Brady did all he could. Don't blame Brady. The receivers don't get open. The play calling sucks. Okay, so who would have done better? Trevor Lawrence? You think he would have done better? And keep in mind, Nick, this is they played Tampa yesterday. Now they got to go play San Francisco. Did you see the line on San Francisco, by the way? Well, there was no running game, so he threw 60 times. Did you see the Frisco line, Nick? Frisco -4 to Dallas. That's already my free play. Frisco -4 to Dallas is a fucking joke. Buffalo went to 4.5, so you already know what to do there. And KC's 52.5, that went up a point. So I'll be posting right after the show. But this is they're just handing us 3 games. Maybe I don't know what to do with Philly and the Giants. Give the Giants credit, but it was only Minnesota, and Detroit beat Minnesota, so Minnesota's not good. Kirk Cousins. No, see, that's the difference. Kirk Cousins throws and completes, but at the wrong time, where Brady, that take Brady's touchdown to Jones, right? Now that's an excellent pass that most of the quarterbacks in the league couldn't make. Jones couldn't make it. Lawrence couldn't make it. Tagovailoa couldn't make it. That's my point, is he was still sharp, but you got to look at the whole game, and you got to look at the score and the defense. I'll tell you, the one guy that should be gone is the kicker for Dallas. You miss 4 fucking extra points, and you're going to bring this guy to San Francisco, and you need an extra point to tie the game, and he misses. Your coaching life on the line with this kicker. It's all psychological now. How in the world did you get stuck with this kicker, and how in the world can you keep this kicker? Now, I think their regular kicker might have got hurt. I don't care. Go to fucking Oklahoma and pick up their kicker, or Michigan. Michigan's got an outstanding kicker. It's about all they got, but they got an outstanding kicker. So I would go with there. So I'll be posting right after. So we're on Vegas. Again, it's market. They don't understand their market. So let's bring economics into Vegas. What do we have? Well, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, we bring in the people inexpensive so they can gamble. And we'll make a lot more money on them gambling because we get them drunk and they're going to lose thousands of dollars gambling. But we need them in the casino to do that. And we don't have restaurants. We have expensive restaurants that who wants to pay $100 for a steak? Nobody. That aren't even open all the time. And it's Gordon Ramsay. I don't want to eat at a Gordon Ramsay, right? There's too much sugar on his food. And I'm not all that impressed. And I don't need it's Gordon. I'd rather have Tom Brady cook for me. Then I'd be impressed. So it doesn't make, so the hotel room's expensive. And then this resort fee turns off people. You pay for parking, which turns off people. Do you think people that make $1 million are not as smart as people here? Like we don't price things out. We're not the market. The market's the market. I don't care how rich you are. You go to the grocery store and Oreos are $5 a pack. You ain't buying them. I don't care how much money you got because it's always the market, right? $50 ribs at my rib place, right? He's keeping them at 27. So do you think? So that's where the market is. Okay, I'm a multi-millionaire, right? I'm coming to pay 27. You knock the price up to 45. You think I just say, oh, I don't care. I'll still pay the 45. No, even the millionaire, his market's here. Everybody has markets. That's the whole point. So Vegas has, okay, here's the market. We got food, price way too high. We got hotel, price way too high. Now we're adding parking where there is no demand because I'll just walk. Then what else is there? Shopping way up here. Okay, that's a little different. If you want to go to these fancy shops, that's your choice. I've never bought anything in the Appian way. I went to they have one sports shop where they autograph memorabilia. I think I bought a baseball card there that I could get at a good price that I know. Now you come to gambling, demand here, and then you're charging $50 a table for blackjack when people want to spend 5 or 10. So you're forcing everybody out. I'm going to CVS for lunch, or I'm going to the deli at the Mirage, or I'm going to the Tuscany where it's a normal price coffee shop, or I'm going downtown where it's normal price. So they're forcing everybody downtown. What kind of business model is that? That's like you own a car dealership and like a Toyota, and you don't want anybody to come in. Now I went and got my oil changed, and my guy, I give him football picks for he gives me an oil change. So that's how he pays for it. And so they look at you need tires and you need brake. I didn't need brakes. I needed tires and an alignment, which I'll get when I get tires, which I know I need. Why would I buy them there? They were very expensive there. I don't know if I have that. It was like $800 for tires that I'm hoping it's $300 or $400 at Discount Tire. A tire is a tire. Why would I need Toyota to do it? Then I have my little thing under my car. I ran over a curb in Alabama because their fucking curbs are ridiculous. They're like twice the size. Anyway, I go to Firestone for $5. He puts some trees in, Christmas trees to keep it in, but it kept falling down. So I said, I got the plate. Can you just push it in? $175. I just laughed. I said, fuck you. I'm not paying $175 and Firestone does it for $5. All you need to do is push some pins in it. Why is it $175? And I got the part in my trunk. So this is the problem. So again, prices here and markets there. And as I said yesterday, I had a nice conversation with the sales manager and my finance manager. The sales manager, I told him, you're going to be out of business because the market for the Camry is about 24, which is what I paid. You're selling it for 30. Good luck selling. He says, we can't sell them. I says, of course you can't sell them because you don't understand your market. You've got to sell them at market. Everything in business and mostly in life is about the equilibrium, about understanding your market, and that's what you sell it for. And this is women, food, sports, everything at equilibrium. That's got to be where the price is. So they got it. They understood what I was teaching them. And so I kind of had a class at the dealership, right? And they're listening, and they got it. I says, you're all like, all the electric cars. Even they said there's no demand for them. I says, I know they're all going to go broke. All the Teslas and everything are going to be broke. They can't. I saw a Tesla in a little article. The price, he's dropping the price from 55,000 to 54,000. Good luck. Hey, who's buying a $50,000 car electric? You got to be out of your mind. And then I saw where there's the electric that you can either plug it in or fill it with gas. Nobody was plugging it in. They're all filling them with gas instead of the electric. So they figured out the electric doesn't work, and we don't want to fuck it. We'll just put gas in the car. So again, in Vegas, that's what they're missing. See, you would, in the old days, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, it would be cheap. You'd be there, and then you'd go to a blackjack table, even if it was a 5 or 10, and you could drop $1,000, right? Unless you're like me, who is very like, $5 blackjack, I'm going to play 100. I'm going to play 20 hands of $5. And if I win, I inch up. If I lose, it's 5. If I can't catch a streak in 20 hands, I leave. But it's only going to cost me 100. Now, I'm very, very unusual. Nobody gambles like me because they just keep playing. They don't have limits. So people will drop 500 or 1,000. So if you give them a stake for $3, you really gave them a stake for 1,000. And since 99.5% don't understand gambling, they lose. So that's what happens. So you're chasing all those people away. So all the $1,000 blackjack people, you're now making the tables $50. They don't even go. They're all running to these cheaper places, the Tuscany or Bally's or downtown at the Golden Nugget, where they can play. Now my finance manager, Toyota, he says, we played at the Golden Nugget. We got a normal price meal. I found $5 blackjack. So everybody, that's what they want. You don't understand the market, and nobody who wants a 50. I can still play $50 a hand at a $5 table or a $10 table. What the fuck are you doing? So I can't even sit at the table at 50, and I'm not going to pull out So 20 times. So I got to pull out $1,000 to play to look for a streak. It's too expensive. I don't want to play for 1,000. I want to play 100. I can still win the 1,000. If I hit my streak, I'm up to $200 a hand, right? But if you're starting me at 50, I don't know. That's not enjoyable. So not going to play there. You've killed half your market, and you forget. This is what these idiots are forgetting. That's what they are. They're casinos. Now, if you think, well, I play in Detroit, when I come to Vegas, I really don't come to gamble, you're out of your fucking minds. It's the only reason I go to Vegas. If you think you used to go to the shows and you'd go gamble and watch the football games and see all the casinos. I don't go to a fucking nightclub and spend $300 to listen to very loud music, and who am I going to dance with? Like, what the fuck? I'd rather meet a girl at the poker table than in a club and spend $300 to get in, and then $200 for a bottle of wine or champagne. Like, hello, that's not your market. That's not why you're a casino. You're a casino to get people to your tables, and you don't even have those people in there. So I don't see, nothing good's going to come out of what they're doing. And then you got MGM making football betting 13-10 instead of 11-10. I never bet there. Yet idiots do, because they don't get the odds. They don't know the different odds at different casinos. So if they're staying at the Bellagio, they'll go to the sports book and bet and lay 130 to win 100 on a teaser, when if you walk to William Hill, it's 110 for 100. That's a lot of money I'm saving on a $500 bet. If I lose, I got to win 2 more to kind of make up for it. But if it's 110, colleges were even money at William Hill not too long ago. I don't know if they still are. I haven't been there in a few years. The juice is very important, but they do that with everything. The blackjack, the craps, all the odds are been changed, and they're way in the casino's edge, which is even more stupid that they price people out. So in their minds, they're thinking, well, we'll make $50 blackjack tables. We'll make more than we will at the $5 blackjack tables. No, you won't. It's again selling steak at $25 a pound instead of $10 a pound. $10 a pound, people will buy it, and you'll sell out. At 25, nobody's buying it. So you can't just multiply your blackjack at $5 and assume you're going to get the same amount of people losing the same amount of money. No, that $50 blackjack table, you're not going to have anybody sitting there. You're not going to make anything. You would make far more money if you had a $10 table than a $50 table, because you're not getting action so you got a wasted table. I mean, it's just stupid. Do I live in Vegas? No, I don't, Rocky. I've been there a lot. I lived there a little bit, 3 months. But no, I live in Detroit. Cowboys better this year, but Niners are much better than last year when entered playoffs. If they brought back the $5 blackjack tables, there'd be a 2-hour lineup to get on. Well, why is that? So you're saying there's demand for the $5 tables. Okay, but if I have $50 tables, I have nobody sitting there, and they're all going to different casinos where they have $5 blackjack. So, but isn't that what I want? Don't I want a 2-hour lineup to get onto one? Or maybe I get rid of all the stupid blackjack and strange blackjack tables and have more tables. If my demand is for 100, then I have enough tables to meet my demand. That's business 101. And if I'm going to have the 2-hour wait, that's exactly what I want, because I know 99%, unless it's a professor or one of my students, they're going to lose $500 to $1,000 because they're in Vegas. They don't care. It's a vacation. They're here to spend their money. So I'm going to win from 99 out of 100 people. I'm winning $500 to $1,000. So tell me why I want $50 tables with nobody sitting in them. Well, because here's the market. You're selling the market's you can probably make them $10 tables, and here's where you're pricing them at. And of course, you got nobody sitting at them. You've got to lower the table limit. You know where everybody goes. They go downtown. They go to the Golden Nugget or Four Queens or one of those, and there's $5 blackjack. Well, why is there $5 blackjack there? Because they want the people to lose the $500, so they welcome you in. And the Caesars and the MGM and the Bellagio are out of their fucking minds. What do they think? People who stay there are rich, and therefore they'll gamble and they'll play $50 blackjack because they have money? What? Then why do you have the nightclubs? The people who have money aren't going to nightclubs. Those are the people from LA flying. I don't give a fuck about them. They don't gamble. I want gamblers in my casino, not guys going to a nightclub. Okay, I get them for $300 to get in. Well, I got the guys at the $10 blackjack table giving me $500. And they're going to drink, and they're going to shop, and they're going to get hungry, and they're going to eat. The guys at the nightclub go in. God knows what you do in these clubs. All I see is they're all like cheering their hands like, well, that looks like fun. And loud music, and then they do. So you're making money on drinking. You're a fucking casino. You're not supposed to make money on drinking. You're supposed to give the players the drinks for free so they lose a lot more money, because it's really not free. If you give them the drinks and they play more, now you've got them for $500 to sit at the blackjack table or the crap table. They pay for the liquor with the losings of the thing. How am I making money on these idiots in the clubs? $300 to get in. That's all I got. Okay, maybe they have a few drinks. Believe me, they're not spending $100 a drink either. And if they're that wealthy, do I really want to segregate my market? Well, I got gamblers here, and then I got people going to the clubs. Is that really what I want? No, I want gamblers because I know they're all losing. Here, I don't know what do I got? Are they gamblers? No. Are they going to spend a lot for the room? Maybe. So I'm changing my market from casino to people that want to come to the club. What the fuck is that? You're a casino in Las Vegas. Have a club off site. I mean, if you want to do that, have a second place that has the club and no gambling and just you want to come to the nightclub, come over here. If you want to come to the casino and gamble, come here. Stop charging $150 to watch a football game. Stop with you don't have restaurants or you have food court, which sucks. Stop having your $60 buffets, which nobody wants and nobody, who can afford it. And it's a buffet. Come on. And then, okay, you got pricey shops, but you don't have any fucking restaurants and nothing's open after 8:00. You're Las Vegas. This is 24 hours. This isn't Detroit where by 9:00, the restaurants close here. I think 9:00 or so. Sometimes after my workout, I'll stop and maybe they're open, maybe they're not. But usually I don't want to eat that much, but once in a while. But what the fuck are you doing? You're Las Vegas. They don't even get what they are. They're casino. It's about gambling. And the fact there's gambling in Detroit, people from Detroit still want to go to Vegas to gamble. I love going and watching the football games in Vegas, but you're keeping me away. I'm not going to pay $150 to watch. So I just sit and, unless I go maybe the Venetian or I used to go to the Mirage, which they've closed down, and they had they had walls of chairs, a lot of chairs, and you could watch the games there, like in the movies. So I would go there. Oh, that's real smarty as Caesars. They don't get that they're fucking a casino and gambling, and people come there, and that everybody they think's a millionaire. And if you are, they think they just don't care about their money. They're going to spend it anyway. Oh, Gordon Ramsay, it's $500 a meal. Oh, well, I'm a millionaire. What do I care? No, fuck. Those are the guys that are real tight with their money if they made it legally, not like a Madoff. Profit AC is a big problem now getting gamblers. The place is a ghost town. Did they raise their price? Is that what happened there? I haven't been to Atlantic City in a long time because when I went 1980, I was 21, I think, and we went, my dad and my brother and a couple of friends, and we went, and I called my bookie, and I says, well, I'll make the bets in Atlantic City because I know I could bet football in Vegas. I thought I could bet football in Atlantic City, and I get there, and you couldn't bet football in Atlantic City. I was like, what the fuck? So we played craps and blackjack, and I'll never forget, my dad's friend was a big gambler. You'll like this story. And I'm very good at judging people. I'm good at reading everything. People, football, poker, everything. So this guy comes to the crap table and he just looks like, I can't. He just like, this guy's not winning. Let's put it that way. And he throws 3 or 4 numbers and he sevens out. And my dad's friend came up to me. How did you know? I said, look at him. He says, well, look at me. And then I says, I can't. It's a feeling I get. Then another guy came, just dressed nice, had the gold chains. I said, there you go, bet on him. And he threw for a good point. But I can feel and read, and people don't get that. When I say I feel things, they don't understand. And unless you can feel things, you don't understand it. So if I'm at poker and I need a diamond, I can feel if a diamond's coming, and then I'll stay in or fold. Sure enough, there's 10 of diamonds hits. I got a flush or straight or whatever. Off you go. And I can do that. I have that power. That's what I do with the football, right? I can feel Frisco is going to kill Dallas. I can feel that Cincinnati game. I can't feel the Giant Philly yet. I need to study it. And then KC Jacksonville over. No, it's mainly because of online casinos, apparently. Plus, there's no sports betting in New Jersey. I thought there's sports betting everywhere. There's sports betting here. Wow. Well, that's pretty stupid if you have Atlantic City and you don't have sports betting. I don't think it's the online casinos. It's more fun to go to the casino. It's like when I cook dinner, right? And I'll make a chicken or whatever. It's more fun to go to the restaurant and eat than see people and have somebody else cook than it is if I cook it. I mean, I'm still here. Um, so you like to get out. So I don't buy the online casinos because they're all ripoffs. So you know it's rigged. You're going to lose. I don't know. It's like online poker, poker stars and all. It's all fixed. There was a story, if anybody knows poker, there's a guy, Gus Hansen, who was a really good poker player, lost $5 million playing online poker because he's too stupid to understand it's fixed. And they're probably a program that can see his whole cards. So they're killing him. And he had to like go back to work as an accountant because he didn't understand it was fixed. And he lost all his money to online poker. And it's like the guy in Madoff. He thinks the SEC's stupid that they didn't find Madoff being a scammer. He doesn't go to the next level like I do and say, well, they were in on the fix, you idiot. They were paid off by the big four who had the money, paid off the SEC not to find anything, just like they're in bed with JP Morgan not to look at his account. They were paid off, you fucking idiot. It's not they didn't know. Well, why didn't the SEC see it? Well, of course they saw it. They didn't care. They weren't gonna, they're not, it's like sending your wife to jail, right? You're not gonna do it, right? This is my wife. I don't care that she robbed the store. I'm never gonna say it. I'm never gonna prosecute. She's gonna be free to go. I'm not gonna prosecute my own wife. Well, they weren't gonna prosecute the SEC. So again, it's just morons doing this. AC has always been more of a day tripper type of place for the New York City and Philly crowd. Yeah, I know that. Why they don't have sports betting is beyond me, unless the New York Mafia doesn't want the competition. But there's really nothing to do there. There's a little bit of poker and a little bit of I don't know what their blackjack and crap. Are they $50 blackjack? If they are, they're all going to go out of business. But you watch, Vegas is going to get hammered. They built all these expensive casinos, which ain't nobody going to stay in, right? Why would I go and spend all this money? My friend was showing me at the Toyota dealer. This is how he's. So we're talking about Vegas because he knows, I'm Teaser King. He even called me Teaser. He says, "Oh, Teaser King's here." I love it. I haven't seen him in a year, but he still knew me. And I told him what to do. I told him who to bet, which one. And, no, I think I gave him this week's games. Yeah, I gave him this week's games. So he pulls up, I think it was Caesar's Nubu, and he says, look at these prices. I mean, one day it was $1,400. I go, who's going to pay $1,400 to stay in the fucking room that you don't use anyway? Or all of them were like $300-$400, and you're like, you got to be out of your mind. It's Vegas, first of all. You don't sit in your room like you're in a different, maybe when I'm in Europe. Even in Europe, I'm out. But okay, let's say I'm staying in the Ukraine. I might be in my room more with my girlfriend than out because what's there to do, right? But other than that, when I go to Amsterdam, I'm not in my room. I go downtown. I look at the girls. I go have Argentinian steak. You go a little shopping. You're not in your room. You're there to see the city. So in Vegas, who would spend that kind of money on the room? That's why I tend to stay off strip and walk 5 minutes to Caesar's Venetian Bellagio, and I can see the fountains and, play poker and go to the Venetian and go to the Wynn and, the shopping's too expensive. There's a mall where the Aladdin used to be that if you want to shop, it's affordable. And that's it. But they're living in fantasy land. Whoever's running these casinos should be fired. MGM, with these terrible odds, thinks people are stupid and thinks they're going to spend all this money on a hotel room and or all this money on food They're out of their minds. Why? Why would I spend $200 on a steak? Why? Tell me why. I can go to Morton's or Ruth Chris's or Shula's or whatever and get it. Or guess what? I go to the grocery store, get a nice New York strip that's going to cost me $15 and cook it myself. Oh my God, these people are just fucking ridiculous. Nobody wants, maybe breakfast, you want your omelet and your pancakes, $10 breakfast. Maybe dinner, you treat. Okay, it's a special. We're here for our anniversary or birthday. All right, we could go to Gordon Ramsay and pay $500 for dinner once. Not every meal. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, that's the problem in Vegas. I look for all that to just disintegrate. They're still building like it's old times. Well, with this inflation, and I was reading some articles on inflation, and inflation dropped a little bit. So it just dropped like 1/10 of a point. It's not down. It's not going down. Who knows who's doing it? The government. You think the inflation's over because they raised interest rates? No, it's not over because they raised interest rates. It's still there. Costs are going up. I had an economics class in the hot tub with this lady. She says, "Oh yeah, you're the professor," and I go, "Yeah." She says, "Well, what do I do? All the prices are going up." So I taught her, inflation's not prices, inflation's the money supply. It's going down, therefore the prices go up because the business has to make its money. And you can see the light going. I says, "Yeah, if I'm in a business and if it's going to cost me 10, I got to make the price 15 to get my 10 out of it." Yes. Then we got into gold and silver, and after I explained that, the husband joined, and they were running to my gold store today to go buy gold and silver because they realize if they're in money, it's going to go to zero. Gold and silver is going through the roof, so it's a no-brainer. And all you're doing is transferring it. And if you need money, you take your gold ounce back to the coin store or go on eBay and get your money, and off you go. I guarantee you, if you go on eBay now, your 1 ounce gold is going for $2,100. I can go back to the coin store. He's going to give me $1,900, but I don't want to. That's not the point. I didn't buy it at 18 to sell it at 21. I bought it at 18 to sell it at 50. So she got it. The light went on, and I could see that. And her and the husband were, all these questions, and I was happy to answer. I says, I teach a class. She says, "How much is it?" I go, "It's free. This is important information people need to understand. And it's not taught anywhere. And it pisses me off because they're trying to intentionally hurt everybody by keeping you in the dark. And then at the end, the magic trick comes. Oh, all our money is worthless. So we're going to come out with this new money. By the way, you're all fucked. Whoops. We're the government, Jay Powell. Oh, really? We're BlackRock and Madoff all combined into one, and that's what I don't like. And I'm going to do my damnedest. See, I always hate when people bitch, but okay, what are you going to do about it? Well, this is what I'm going to do about it: is fuck everybody who's keeping you guys in the dark and saying, no, this is what you need to do. This is why you need to do it, so you understand it yourself. So when your spouse goes, "Why are we buying gold and silver?" you can say, "The professor taught me, this is why." And then she'll go, "Oh, that's pretty fucking smart." Carlos, Ellis Island is the best in Vegas. I stay at the Tuscany near Ellis Island, but I know what you mean. It's got a good restaurant. It's affordable. It's right next to it. It's like a 2-minute walk. Not even that. It's like a 1-minute walk from Tuscany. But I stay at the Tuscany, same type of restaurant, and they just don't have poker at the Tuscany. So I end up walking past Bally's to Caesars, play some poker, go to Venetian, play some poker. And it's funny as I go eat at CVS or one of these little, and then I get a big thing of honeydew and a Diet Coke and tuna sandwich, a salad for $10, and then I go to the sports book and I eat it there. It's the funniest thing. Or I used to go to there's a New York deli at the Mirage. I would eat there, get a corned beef sandwich, get a burger and fries. It was great. And but now that a Mirage is closed, I got to find another New York deli there. I used to go to Stardust, Tony Roma's, get the beef ribs. They were the best, but they're gone. So that's the problem with all. Good luck trying to find a restaurant. There is one in the Venetian that's pretty normal and a good price and a very good restaurant. It's a cheesecake factory, owns it, but it's called fuck. It's at the Venetian in the middle, but what's it called? It's called like the Luxor, I think. And very good, very affordable. You know, you can get a nice steak, $20, or nice chicken, it's $20. You just got to like win. I don't know where you eat at the Win, right? There's nowhere you eat at the Win. So you leave the Win to go to the Peppermill, like a little bit down, like a 5-minute walk. And that's very good, very tasty, always a huge line, big portions, and it's affordable. So again, when you sell things at market, you do very well. When you are smarter than the market, Caesars, MGMs, you basically go out of business because the market is always right. We're the market. You can't come in and sell fat burgers for $15 to a market that will never pay $15 for a fat burger. Now, if it was yours, that's one thing. But if you're trying to sell McDonald's for $15 hamburger, how many people are waiting in a McDonald's? They see $15, they drive right through. I go, fuck you, I ain't paying that. So that's really Vegas is so lost. Okay, perfect example. New Year's Eve, I go down to watch the football games. I try to sit in the sports book. They want $25. You know how many people were in the sports book in the chairs for $25? Zero. There's a few people at the bar, and then I'm sitting in the poker room waiting to play poker for free. All the restaurants are expensive. They don't have the buffet anymore. So I go eat at my barbecue place. I get the chicken rib combination for $20. Then I go down to the casino. I'm not hungry. I go to one restaurant. I was going to have like a chili, and it was like an hour wait. There's nobody at the table. It was like, fuck you guys. And then they, so I mean, you've killed the restaurant. Nobody's waiting, and if it is an hour wait and the tables are empty, aren't you supposed to turn over your tables at a restaurant? You want somebody sitting there, and then like every 45 minutes or an hour, you want new people sitting there. Not we have nobody sitting there, and we're gonna you got to wait an hour for nobody to finish their meal. You're like, okay, good luck running your restaurant into the ground. So you don't even go there to eat anymore. I used to go for the buffet. They had New York strips. I'd eat a couple of those, some Chinese, some salads at the buffet. You don't have it, I'll go find somewhere else. So that's the problem. And then $50 a hand blackjack. Okay, how are you making money here? Oh, on your slot machines. You know why they're packed is because it's the only thing people can afford. Oh, I can take my $50 and play quarter slots, right? Most people aren't stupid. They know the slot machine's very hard to win because they're fixed, but they'll figure, well, I can do something. So what the casino is apparently doing is getting everybody off the table games and putting you into the slot machines because they're the only things that are for 50 cents, a quarter, $1 type of thing where people can afford. So that's what they're doing. Now they win all the time because people are going to lose the slots 99% of the time. You get lucky and you hit, but are you leaving? Right? My whole theory, if I hit a slot machine for $100, and I never play slots, if I hit a slot machine for $100, am I going to give all the money back, or am I going to leave? Am I going to put 50 in my pocket, play out the 50? Well, I do. I played a video poker because there was nothing to play. So I'm playing quarter video poker and I win $12 and I get up. The dealer starts getting hot. I go, okay, I know the program's set. I'm going to lose. And I got up and left. So that was it. But watching the football game, but I don't go for food. There's no food going. Bobby, you're late. You owe us 3 silver coins for being late. Sorry, Bobby. We got times when you need to be here for class. Now what? I got to go through everything else for you. I hear you talking about the casino. I agree about the slots. Well, that's what we see. My story is about when I get my oil changed. The guy recognized me as Teaser King, and then he's the finance manager. And then we start talking about Vegas because he knows I gamble. I've helped him out selling stuff. He didn't know where to sell some stuff. I said, go on eBay. So I helped him out. So we talked gold and silver, and then we were talking about Vegas. And he made the comment too. He says, all I see is everybody at the slot machines. Who's going to play $50 blackjack? So what is the point of $50 blackjack? You're never going to fill the table. At best, you have one guy. But as I explained, you make it at a $10 table. I'll be betting 50 as soon as I catch my streak. Let me win 3 in a row. I'll be $50 a hand, but not in the beginning. So that's what we're talking about. And then the market's here and these casinos are up here. Well, nobody's going up here. You got to lower your market. They don't want to do it. $50 tables. So all these people running to the quarter and dollar slot machines because they want to play something. And that's what they're playing because you can't play $50 blackjack. You're not going to play $35 craps. You're not going to play $50 back rack. But what the fuck are you going to do in the casino? So you're not going to eat there. You're not going to shop there. So what is the casinos doing? That's my lecture now is what is the casino doing? Because they're chasing everybody out. Now, this guy, makes good money. He's the finance manager. He gets you your financing for the car. And he says he went downtown to the Golden Nugget and they were able to eat nice and play $5 blackjack, which is what everybody wants. Now, he's fairly well off. I'm fairly well off. We're not playing $50 a fucking hand blackjack. You got to be out of your mind. What are they thinking? I tried to have a management talk with one of the managers. I says, let me talk to whoever's making these decisions. I'll be happy to talk to him. Economics. Let's go. Where is he? Who can I talk to? And I couldn't get any. Nobody would try to battle the professor. Because I'm going to give it to them and say, you guys are out of your fucking minds. What is it you're trying to do? Make sure nobody gambles, eats, or stays here? That's a great business model. Bobby, I usually always check at 12, but it don't show you, and I got sidetracked again. I think I was on like 12:15. Well, let's see. It's 2 hours, and it's 2 o'clock. I was on right about noon. Yeah, right about 12 o'clock, maybe 12:02 or 12:03. I had to wait for my coffee to heat up. I went with friends where they start bullshitting on the slots, and I try to get them to play blackjack with me, but they just stay on those damn slots. I prefer the live interaction of the blackjack, and I have won more on blackjack than slot. Well, your odds are much better on blackjack. You can double down on an 11. Slots, you're just pushing a button, basically, and not doing anything. People are when people don't know what they're doing, they want to keep it to themselves. So they'll play the slot machines or video poker because they don't know what they're doing. They don't want to get involved at the tables. So they stay at the little machines playing quarter or dollar slots or video blackjack or video poker or stuff like that. Because they don't want the human interaction. They're very shy, nervous, or scared. So that's what the slot machine is. It's for those type of people. People more aggressive like me and you, I don't have a problem, but I'm going to play more poker because the odds, I'm not getting fucked on the odds. I can still play 1-2 no limit. And notice how it's 1-2 no limit, not 50-100 no limit. It's 1-2 no limit. So all I know is he went downtown, Golden Nugget. He could eat affordably, he could shop affordably, and he could play $5 blackjack. And he, made some money there. He took his wife. They had a nice meal, and it wasn't a $500 Gordon Ramsay hamburger, whatever the fuck he charges. But those are the same friends who see me buying silver and have zero interest, and go figure. Well, yeah, you need some new friends, Bobby, I think. You need some smart friends. Um, yeah, like I was saying, I met a couple in the pool, in the hot tub, and I talked them into gold and silver. They didn't have any. I told them I knew you. They were like sports people. So I said, I know, you know who Bobby Bonilla is? And they said, yeah. I says, well, he's in my class. And she says, how much is your class? I says, no, it's free. It's on YouTube, but I'm trying to fill the gap of nobody knows nor understands Austrian economics. And it's a shame. And I have that skill set, so I'm going to teach it. And she loved it. They knew who you were. And we joked about Barry Bonds. Did you see my show the other day? I showed the Barry Bonds 100 count card just for you. Anyway, that's the problem. So Vegas, I don't know. I would not invest stock. I don't see how these earnings go up unless like the MGM app. So why does MGM have an app if their casinos are doing so well? So they're almost competing against themselves, right? So you have the MGM and the Bellagio, and now you have the app. Well, the app's competition to the hotels. What are you fucking doing? So maybe that's where MGM's making their money, is in the app and these online casinos and these idiotic Jamie Foxx commercials. What is he doing? He looks like, does he know how stupid he looks? He's doing that scene in the movie, and then his phone go like he would keep his phone on while he's doing a scene. Any given Sunday, he's about to hike the ball and the phone rings, and I got the king. I won $10 in blackjack, and then they blitz him or something. I mean, that's how stupid it is. So he just looks like an idiot with this BetMGM thing. And again, all the suckers are on the app, but your odds suck. So don't forget that. Your odds are really bad, especially football on any of these DraftKings or MGM apps. Stay away from them like the plague. You're better off just with Bodog, or go to the bowling alley and find a bookie. And that's where I met mine. I was 13, 14 years old. I used to watch my dad bowl on Tuesdays. I might have been younger. And he introduces me to his bookie. And that's how I got my bookie. So he starts taking my bets. I bury him, but, it was fun. But this is a little accountant. It's all he was, a little accountant guy. Yeah, I book, and okay. And I always ask for the line first, then I make my bets. And then on Tuesday, he'd pay me up. So it was nice. But go to the bowling alley and find a bookie. Oh, it's so much better than all this crap. Carlos, I just subscribed to you, Professor. Do you play props? Give us a play. No, I don't really do props, but I can help you figure out props. But I don't waste my time with that. Your odds aren't any good. I do users, and we make a lot of money. So I stick to what I stick to who I brought. If you go dancing, you dance with whom brung you. And that's my cup of tea, is the teasers. And I've been doing them for a long fucking time, since the 70s, and I've got them all figured out really well. So I stick with that. But these props, who the fuck knows? And you got to worry about injuries. What if the guy gets hurt? Now you've lost your prop. Was there a prop yesterday that Tom Brady would throw over 60 passes or something? I would have lost the Prescott 2 interception prop, but I would bet it this week against the Niners. Prescott throws 2 picks. That should be even money. There's no doubt he's going to throw at least 2 picks against the Niners. They're going to play a real defense this week. Use a local bookie account, Professor. No, I have a bookie. I call him up. I bet with the bookie. So it's like calling you, going, Bobby, and you're my bookie. I go, this is who I'm betting on. And you take the bet, and then we pay on Tuesdays. You used to have one in Queens, but don't have one here in Tampa. Well, go to the bowling alley and get one. Or what happened to the guy in Queens? I mean, I would think New York has a ton, and I would think there's a lot in Florida with the Russian mafia. You should have a lot of bookies there. Better odds for sure, and they pay every Tuesday. One guy I had, I buried him. I went 21-1 on a Saturday on rivalry weekend college football. And the guy goes, and I buried him for what, $2,000. This is in the 70s. So that's when it was real money. And I bury him, and he makes up, oh, the FBI is tapping my phone. I can't book anymore. That was the funniest. I go, oh, really? The FBI? Oh, we're gonna go with that one. Okay. Why don't you take my picks and bet them yourself? Obviously, if I can go 21-1, maybe I fucking know what I'm doing, because in their mindset, nobody knows what they're doing and everybody's gonna lose. And that really frustrates me. Just like when I talk gold and silver, when I get questioned on it. I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm doing, and I've been taught it. So when somebody questions, I get a little frustrated with them, like, well, do you not trust? Do you think I'm lying to you? Because that really pisses me off. I do not lie about this shit. Carlos, the Uber driver is making all the money in Vegas. I walk. I can walk from Caesars to the Venetian, sit down, and then walk to the Wynn, and then sit down and walk back to the Venetian. So you walk little segments, but that's what I do. And then I never go to the Mandalay Bay side. So I'll go to Caesars, to Bellagio. I'll walk to where the Monte Carlo used to be. I don't really go on the other side unless I go to the Venetian. I know, that little mall there. I don't go there for shopping. Once in a while, like I got my best friend who's pregnant in Romania. I said, I'm going. She says, can you buy me the little magnets for the fridge that say Caesars and Las Vegas? And I bought her 25 magnets, these little magnets that you would stick on your fridge. So I got like all the hotels in Vegas and Four Aces and stuff like that. And then I went to Romania to meet her, and I gave her all of it. And she loved it. She still got it. She shows me she's got it on her fridge. I go, well, what did your husband? How did you explain it to your husband? She said, well, I just said my friend went to Vegas. She doesn't say me, although I think he knows about me. And she'll just say, oh, my friend went to Vegas and brought this home for me. I don't know the relationship she has with the husband, but I stay out of it. We talk about each other. We don't really. Although it pisses me off when her dad died and she asked me for money for the funeral. I go, well, what about your husband? He won't help. What are you married to him for? How do you marry a guy who won't help you when your dad dies or if you get into a car accident? Shit like that. And she was really broken up over her dad dying. So I paid for the funeral, but I like, why? Where's your husband? Like, what the fuck? How do you marry a girl and not help her with her dad's funeral? What the fuck? She just said, well, he just gets involved with his family. He doesn't get involved with mine. So I end up helping her out with her family, but I do it, out of love. And I don't, she's not scamming me. It's just, I knew the dad died. She showed me a picture of him in the hospital. He had cancer. So what am I going to do? Oh, he really didn't die. You're scamming me? Come on. That's ridiculous. I know the girl enough that she's not. I made her promise me no lying. You lie to me, you'll never hear from me again. There's no reason to lie to me. It's fine. I know you're married, whatever. And she's never lied to me in 15 years. Carlos, is the Uber driver making all the money? Well, it sure as shit ain't the casinos. I think it's the clubs. What's their overhead? Nothing. They charge how much? $200-$300 to walk in, and then $300-$400 for a bottle of what, champagne or wine or whatever the fuck it is. What's their overhead? Nothing. They have a guy playing music. What's the cost of that? $100 a night. So a guy playing music, and you're dancing, and you're selling drinks for 1,000% in return, and you got a bunch of idiot kids waving their hands in the air. I don't get it. I really don't. Maybe something else is going on there. Are they selling drugs, prostitution? I don't know what goes on there. But it just seems very, very strange what they're doing there. So something illegal must be going on for them to charge that much, and people want to go into it, but I don't know what it is. I have no desire to hear loud music. It's a waste of time, I guess. Anyway, I mean, because I'm more psychological and more math oriented and analytical, so I want to figure things out. I don't want to hear loud music and go, I don't get it. Why? I do that when I get a touchdown in a football game. I get my high that way, so I don't need that shit. Anyway, Bobby, did you buy gold and silver lately? You buying more? Your time's running out because it ain't gonna have any. So I said at the hot tub, those people were running today to buy gold and silver. Where do I buy it at? It's the same store I gave you, Bobby, the store by me. Only they live here, so they can go there. I need to buy another 1/10 of an ounce. I'm at like 50 and 90. What? It's like 0.975 because I got the 1/10 of an ounces in a 1/4 ounce. So I got 7/10 of an ounces. So that's 7/10 of an ounce and a 1/4 puts me at 0.95 of an ounce. So I want to get to the next hurdle. So he had some 1/10 of an ounces. I don't know if he still has them for $200. So I will, if he has one, I'll buy another one. That way, that gets me to the next ounce. That's pretty funny. But anyway, he's still getting in some gold, but not, 4 ounces is not a lot. And he still had the silver. So, but he's from the mint guy, right? He buys from the mint, or he has a license to make his own. So I'm sure they're making. I don't see that big bar I was telling you about, Bobby. So what he does is he takes a saw to the silver, but you lose the scrap. So there's got to be a way to put it in a box or a bin where when you do saw the big bar to make chunks to make it into coins, that you're able to collect it. Otherwise, you lose a lot of money cutting up a bar. So you got to be careful with that. But otherwise, with all the shit happening, why the war's still going on, I talked to my girlfriend and neither of us understand it. We're like, what the fuck is he up to? He's bombing apartment houses. Excuse me, what kind of fucking war is that? Hitler stole gold. That was his plan, is to steal gold, not world conquest. It was, I'm going into this country, Czechoslovakia, and I want their gold. And the army covers it up so there's no loose ends. And then all the Jews I stole their gold, they're going to the concentration camp, no loose ends. That was World War II. So what the fuck? And he wanted some oil. That's why he was in Africa. But what is Putin doing? What do you want there? The oil? Okay, you've got oil. You don't need it, but if you want it, but bombing these strange cities, apartments aren't really benefiting you getting oil. There's a lot of them defecting. There's a lot of them surrendering. There's a lot of they're like a football team that buries their own coach. So they've killed 15 of their own generals. You don't pay the Russians. They're not a happy bunch. So they're all surrendering. None of them want to fight. None of them want to be there. How the fuck do you win a war like that? Which is why he's sending the missiles in, because he doesn't have any troops. So it's really strange. But this is going to be the scapegoat of the whole inflation, gold, silver, new currency bullshit. Every country is going to blame the war in Russia. That's why there's inflation, even though it's got nothing to do with it. We got to raise gold and silver because we're deep in debt. So they need an excuse to raise gold and silver. So this is going to be the excuse of all the excuses, the war in Russia and Ukraine. That way it takes the burden off the U.S., J.P. Morgan, printing money into oblivion till it doesn't have a value. And that's basically it. So I had to explain to these people in the hot tub that they think prices are inflation. I said, no, the money printing is the inflation. The prices, go up because it takes more money because the money's lost value. And they understood that. So with that said, everybody's backwards on what inflation is, thinking it's prices. No, it's the money. And so they got it. So they're running to buy gold and silver. So I was pretty happy about that. Carlos, a lot of working girls are there and can be us. In the clubs, okay, so you get a prostitute in the club. How much are they? Where do you go? Are there back rooms? Is it like a strip club where you go into the VIP section and have a good time with the girl and you come out? Canbias. So you're in a fucking casino. How hard is it to have Canbias and working girls? You got working girls there. So you're telling me everybody's going for the illegal stuff to get a girl where I assume they have back rooms that they do it in? You really want to go in a noisy club for that? Well, I guess in a strip club. What's the difference between going there? The strip club doesn't cost you $300 to get in. So I mean, yeah, we know sex and drugs sells, as does gambling. We know that, but again, why would I pay $300? I'm already out $300, and then if she wants a bottle of champagne, I'm out 300 more. Then I got to pay the girl or the canvas. You're telling me I can't get this other places, or in the casino I can't do this. So it just seems very odd. I know it's dark in these clubs, but I've never been in. So it's confusing to me. I'll take your word for it, Carlos. But again, why would I pay so much for it versus other things? So makes sense. Yes, when you involve sex and drugs, you can get more money. But it seems like, yeah, this is sex and drugs, and this is what it costs to get in. So it still seems skewed. And are you really driving from LA to Vegas to go into a club to hear music and see girls? And you can't do this in Vegas. There's no working girls and drugs to drive 4 hours. So I understand, but I don't know why you would go there for it when you certainly can go other places for it. Just seems weird to me. That's all I can say. But thanks, Carlos. I appreciate what's going on there. That makes sense. But it's all economics. It's like we talked about the sex trafficking show a couple days ago, where they ship them to Turkey and they steal their passport. It's again because the guys will pay for sex with hot Ukrainian girls. That's why they kidnap them and lock them in a room. It's the same thing. It's the same sex that gets, causes all this illegal things. Do you think there's something they can do to legalize everything and keep it like Amsterdam? Do you have the human trafficking in Amsterdam where the girl goes and buys a room and you see them in the windows? Is that easier, better than going to a club and everything? War crimes. What are we talking about? Putin? Yeah, Putin's got a lot of war crimes, but who's going to convict him? Maybe it'll be the Bernie Madoff people who couldn't figure out the SEC was in on the fix. I don't think we've got war crimes at in the clubs. But yeah, I mean, Amsterdam seems. Here's the girls. I mean, they make it easy. Here's the girls. Oh yeah, you see them in the window. You go. Here's 60 euros and go have a good time. And and they have a lot of bars there where I'm sure they're smoking cannabis. Well, hell, they have bakeries that you're getting cannabis right in this. It's legal. So you really want to prevent it, just make it legal like Amsterdam. That's your model. It works well there. There's places that sell it all over. There's girls all over. I don't know how much crime is, but I think it's pretty safe play. Walking around there, you're pretty fucking safe. And you get a lot of hotter looking girls there than you do here. That's for sure. Happy endings, absolutely. War crimes and happy endings doesn't get better than that. That's the thing, and you get a good girl. I had one girl proposition me in Amsterdam. I go to her room. After the room, she says, "I'll come back to your hotel tonight." It was afternoon. She says, "For $500, I'll spend the night with you." I was shocked because I've never. Usually, you do it in the room and that's it. She was like, "No, no, no." She liked me a lot, and she's like, 500, I'll spend the whole night. But the problem is I didn't have that much money. This was back when I didn't even have a debit card. So I brought like $2,000, but I didn't know how much money I needed. So I said, how about like $300 for 3 hours? Like, help me out here. But she was a beautiful girl. Absolutely. I still like, damn, I made that mistake. But no, I prefer Amsterdam than these clubs and going to Vegas now. I'd rather fly to Amsterdam and go. But it's becoming weird there. Like when they closed down Christmas, not last year, the year before. So I was meeting Jenna in Amsterdam, and it was closed. You go downtown, there was no girl there was no windows open. The steakhouses were closed. The only thing open was like food. Like you could go to a grocery store or a bakery. That was it. Like, what the fuck? Everything was closed. It's Amsterdam. The one city that should never close more than Vegas was closed for COVID. And you were like, what the fuck are you doing? So we ended up in Lviv, which is near Poland in the Ukraine, where we knew the Ukraine, they don't care about COVID. Yeah, we're open. Come on. It was a great time. Highly recommend anything in the Ukraine after the war. But yeah, it was real nice. Girls are just freaking beautiful. You got all the European girls, and I think that's just their lifestyle. They walk and ride the bike more, or they don't eat as much because they can't afford it. So they're just poor girls. They work out. They know their body is their money, and they know their looks. So they always have the makeup, and their hair is nice, and the body's nice. Where in America, they're all fat, ugly girls, because they're all slobs here. But in Europe, they're much prettier and in good shape, and they all know their worth. Believe me, when you meet a girl, especially in the Ukraine, they are just, their hair is nice, the lipstick's on, they look beautiful. Girl after girl after girl. It's just amazing. Yeah, you're damn right, Carlos. If only the American girls weren't so lazy and so snotty. Give me money for this and that. I mean, all girls want money. See, eventually, here's the market. You want a girl. This is what she wants. Oh, you want sex? Well, then you're going to have to come up here to meet the demand and give me some money. So that's the little difference between Europe and the U.S. But the U.S. girls just want the money. The European girls want the sex and the money. They're just treated differently there. So it's I really enjoy it there. If we can ever get back there, who the fuck knows with all that shit that's going on. But I might have to go sell some gold and silver in Switzerland or somewhere, seeing what they do here. But I'm ready for it, wherever we need to go. So what else? So Vegas is falling apart. They keep building these real expensive casinos, and I don't know who the fuck's going to them. And if they're going for the clubs, for the sex and the drugs, I find that hard. I agree with you, Carlos, but I find it like, seriously, you can't. There's no hookers walking around Caesars. Like, believe me, there's hookers walking around that city all over the place. You see a hot girl, believe me, she's a hooker. I picked up one girl at a slot machine. She was I don't know what she was. She gives me her phone number. We go back to the room, but I called her the next day. She didn't answer. I don't know what she was. I don't think she was even a hooker. I was told by my friend, oh, these girls from LA come down and, they'll have sex with you for a couple hundred. They're just trying to get a couple $100. So they're really not hookers per se, but they're girls from LA who want money. And it's like, oh, okay. So I learned something new there. But I picked her up at the slot. She was just sitting at the slot machines. Oh, how you doing? Next thing you know, it's let's go back to your room type of thing. Anyway, so Vegas has changed a lot, unfortunately, to the wrong way. This is the problem when business people don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like at my last job, when they don't know what the fuck they're doing, they don't understand inflation, they don't understand recession, depressions, they don't understand competition. They're clueless of the economy and the inflation. And it just blows your mind that these are like high-level finance managers that don't have a fucking clue. And you're like, oh. So I love when I left, I says, you'll be closed in 6 months. 6 months is March. I says, you'll be closed because of the depression about to hit. Nobody's going to want fucking whatever the fuck you're selling. They're going to just want to eat and heat their house and have lights. They're not going to worry about that. So anyway, that's what's going on there. Let's just go through the football again. KC 8.5, 52.5, up from 51.5. Two over teams should be high scoring. The Giants, Philly 7.5, 48.5. An over team in the Giants versus an A team in Philly, although I'm not sure they're gonna how healthy Hurts is and what kind of timing he has. And then their defense is good, but as I read, there's a lot of injuries, so I'm not sure they're the same team. I'm not sure they're going to win the game. Cincy, Buffalo 4.5, 48.5. Probably a little bit of weather. That's why the over went down, not injuries. I don't think the weather is going to be that much of a factor with Burrow and Allen. Burrow should be fine. The cold weather is not going to bother him. The wind, 10 to 15 miles an hour, is not real. 50 miles an hour going to bother him. 10 to 15, I don't think so. You are off the lake. Keep looking at the weather. But this was Sunday's forecast, Sunday afternoon on the Weather Channel. Again, you're giving me Joe Burrow at 10.5. You're giving me Montana and Rice in 10.5. Thank you very much, because you don't have Lawrence Taylor. And you don't have Von Miller. If you did it, that might be a difference, but without them. So it's a good dog play. It's a good overplay. And keep your eye on the weather, though. And then Dallas, Frisco. Frisco's only a 4-point favorite. They're going to kill them. This is the worst line I've ever seen. Everybody will say to you, well, Vegas, their lines are really close. Look how close their lines are. Yeah. Frisco 10 by the professor, 4 by Vegas. Yeah, they're dead on this one. I mean, I would bet $10,000 to a penny that they're not going to win by 4. They're going to win by much more than 4, and Vegas is way off on this line. So definitely like Frisco there. 2 under team. Well, Dallas is a B team. They score with the decent defense. The Niners are the A team. They score a lot and have the best defense in the league at 16. Just look for some dominance. I would say it's under, because both teams have good defenses. Prescott will give you the 2-3 interceptions, as I keep saying. And Frisco with Purdy and that, I mean, they put up 41 on Seattle, who has no defense. So you really got to dissect and see what they did when they played. Frisco blows up Seattle, but Seattle doesn't have a good defense. And then you got Miami putting 31 up on Buffalo, who's got no defense. What the hell is Cincinnati going to do to them? Giants, Mini. Okay, the Giants are impressive against Mini, who has no defense. And then you got Cincinnati beating Baltimore, a team with a really good defense, and they put up 24. Yes, it was a fumble, but it counts. It was good defense that caused the fumble. And if they didn't score then, Burrow would have let them down and scored. And then Dallas, Tampa. Again, Dallas beat a very weak team with no running. Well, guess what? McCaffrey's on the Niners. Purdy Debo Samuel. They got a lot of running and a lot of offense, and Brock Purdy. Not that Brady, but Brady didn't have running, and that's what I say. You have to have a balanced offense. They never did. They got the ball to the 2-yard line twice. That should have been 2 more scores. That I guarantee you, McCaffrey will get you the 2 touchdowns, or Debo Samuel will get you when they get to the 2. So the fact that Tampa got to the 2 twice, nobody's taking into account, which would have made the game 31-28, which makes us a winner. But okay. But here, the Niners, they're going to kill him. I mean, Mike McCarthy, really? You hope they fire him, but Jimmy Jones has a history of doesn't know. He's clueless about coaches. He doesn't know how to get a coach. So that's what you have there. Let's see what our gold is doing today. It was down a few dollars for whatever reason. I think I kept this open. No, I kept the weather open. Gold price today is at 1907. Yeah, gold's at 1906, down $12. You can see how it's manipulated. It's 1916, and then it's just a straight line down. It's just manipulation by J.P. Morgan. That's why we don't really count it on COMEX, because it's paper. Huge demand: Russia, China, India, Saudi Arabia, Iran, all the central banks in Europe. They know they need the protection to get out of the dollar. So huge demand on gold. The price should not be going down. It should be going up. Again, why it's valued in U.S. should be going away, and it'll be valued in whatever currency, and off it goes. Profit like Jacksonville in 22, Giants 22, Cincy 18, Frisco 9.5. Where are you getting Frisco and 9.5? Okay. Good luck, I guess. I don't know. You're doing 14-point teasers. What do you win? $5 with that? With that mess? See, I don't get that. Your odds, first of all, your odds suck. And secondly, how much are you laying on that? Are you even money for that crap? And you got to pick all 4. Yeah, you're laying 130 and you got to go 4-0. That doesn't make sense. Plus, you're not really gaining value. You're not getting the value needed for picking to go 4-0. More than likely, you go 3-1 and you'll lose. And it's 130. Where if you just played a 6-7 point teaser at 110, then all you got to do is pick 2 winners, and off you go. So, Carlos, you're right. I want to check it out. Amsterdam after the war. You can go now. The war. I was just in Lisbon. It's fine. My girlfriend, I showed you the Ukrainians. I'm Ukrainian. She wore that every day, and she was proud. And nobody said boo to her except for one Canadian woman when we were at lunch. Says, "I support you." And I says, "You're the only one besides me that's supporting her." And she's wearing it as a show of strength that, fuck you guys, I'm Ukrainian. But you can go to Amsterdam now. They're open, and you can fly there. Not a problem. You're not affected by the war. They're not looking to take out the girls in Amsterdam. The Russians like that too much. If you ever get caught by Russians, just offer them money and they'll let you go. They value that above everything else. Then women. It's funny how the Russian culture is. They all have mistresses. They're married, and then they have the mistress on the side, and the wife knows about it. Every married man has the mistress on the side. It's unbelievable. I had a friend, she was the mistress, and she says, "Oh, I met his wife." And I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I couldn't believe she met the wife. Like, really? You don't see this as a problem, meeting the wife? Oh, my God. Anyway, I thought that was funny. This girl is just beautiful. I told her, you should be the wife. You shouldn't be the mistress. You should get the money. But I'm sure she's getting money as the mistress. All right, so that's it. So we got 2 Saturday games, 2 Sunday games. And keep in mind, Dallas is totally fucked because they had to play Monday night. So they lost a whole day and a half because forget that Frisco played Saturday, but if you just played Sunday your normal time, you'd be recouping Sunday night, fly home, and then you'd have Monday to kind of get out of your aches and pains, and then you practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Well, it's Tuesday now, and they're not practicing. I doubt they'll probably start practicing Wednesday, Thursday, but here comes the game on Sunday. So Dallas is totally fucked. Keep that in mind. Rocky, I know I should be paying you for this, but what 2 teams, 6-point teaser do you like most next weekend? I haven't really looked at it. I've given you a free pick of San Francisco. So use that. And then, probably I would say Cincinnati would be the next best thing. I mean, Christ, they're not going to get blown out by Buffalo with that defense that barely beat Miami. Try to use logic. Buffalo at home, must win, playoff game, Skylar Thompson, and he puts up 30. What do we got? 34-31 against Miami with no offense and no defense. So how Buffalo, we see struggle, has no defense. Burrow's going to rip them apart. And I'll get the over that I wanted 2 weeks ago when I locked the over in the Cincy Buffalo game, and then the guy gets injured, and then they stop the fucking game unbelievably. That's what I was thinking. You're welcome, Rocky. Yeah, normally 20%, but I do give a free pick, so that's okay. But yeah, what I tend to do is you give me an email. I do this with a couple of guys, so they'll make bets that they're comfortable with. So 100, 200, 500, and I give them the plays, and then I get 20% of that. So that's pretty common. That way everybody wins. You get 80%. So you win 500, you're getting 80%, and I'm getting 20%. Although you do pay the juice. But that's part of it. But you're getting the information. So you're paying for the information as if you would an accountant, an attorney, or any other thing. You can buy the picks. Like I said, $100 will buy you all the playoff picks instead of instead of buying the weeks or doing whatever. But that's whatever people are into is fine. Like I said, I'm here. The economics is to teach you because you don't know, and I know you didn't learn it, and I know they don't teach it, and I don't know anybody else besides where I went to school for my master's in the mid-90s that teach this in a way that a 10-year-old can understand it. That's the point. Let's see if this is Jenna probably going, I'm alive. No, somebody else. So that's what we have. Nick, buy picks while you can. Winners every week. There you go, Nick. Thank you. Nick's been with me about 3 years now. Took Nick a while to really kind of figure me out. And then he wanted to do math formulas, which I kept trying to tell him it's impossible. There's too many variables to really do a math formula on it. It's not like the algorithms that these idiots do in baseball and football. oh, we should go on fourth down. It's such stupid because they're not quantifying when to go for fourth down. Fourth down at their 30 is okay. At their 10, it's not. At your 10, it's not. In the midfield area, what game was I watching? I think it was Baltimore Cincinnati, and Baltimore's going on fourth down at midfield, and I go, good, they'll hold them. Cincinnati gets the ball, it's a turnover. I get the ball at the 50. It was one of those games. It was crazy. I think it was Miami Buffalo. Miami kept going for it, fourth down. These coaches think that they're always going to make it is the problem, right? Oh, we'll make it every time. No, you won't make it every time. That's very hard to do on a 4th and 2 is make it because the defense is just, especially if you run, they're just gearing up for the run. Anyway, so, we'll keep a lookout for the injuries. In the Buffalo game, we got to keep a lookout for the weather. Outside of that, KC, I don't know what the weather will be there, but it looks like it's fine. Philly, probably figure cold. Frisco should be nice, and Buffalo should be, as we said, about 25. A little bit of wind. That shouldn't bother Buffalo or Cincinnati. They're both northern teams. It didn't bother Miami, and I'm sure it was cold there, so why would it bother Cincinnati, who's basically Ohio? It's basically fairly cold in the 20s and 30s, so it shouldn't be a deal. It's a playoff game. Now, I don't know how angry Cincinnati is about getting fucked in the first game, but I really think Cincinnati wins this game. I think it'll be a good game like the KC Buffalo game, but I think it's Cincinnati, Kansas City, and Kansas City's in trouble. I don't know. I don't know if KC can beat either of these teams, but I'm betting on Joe Burrow. The other way, you got Frisco. Philly would be a good game. It's probably what you're going to get. Frisco wins. We might have a very strong next week, not this week, with KC Cincinnati. Take Cincy as the dog. Frisco, Philly, take Frisco as the dog. That could be my highest play of the year if I get those teams as dogs in these championship games. Oh, my God. You got to be kidding. So that's what I'm hoping for, that Philly does beat the Giants. It'll probably, I think if I tease it down to 1, I might win. I don't know. I mean, the Giants should have played. I don't know. Anyway, so buy your gold and silver before it ends. Outside of that, I think I'm going to look for that 1/10 ounce of silver, see if it's still there. I'm going to have my lunch, 2:40. So I ended up doing a 75-hour fast last week. It hit 72 and it was 3 o'clock, and I said, yeah, I'm already here. I might as well keep going. And but then I got into a quandary where I didn't want to go too late because I didn't want to eat dinner at 10 o'clock at night. So 6 o'clock was dinner. I was like, okay, I can eat it now. And then I ate after 75 hours of fasting. My foot's been fine. If you got any injuries or you got something doesn't feel right, just do the fast. Stop fucking around. Don't even go to the doctors. Try to do like at least a 36-hour fast. So eat dinner. The next day, don't eat. Go to sleep. You wake up, have lunch. And that's all you're doing is missing 1 day, which is really not hard as long as you're away from cookies and chips and bagels, all the carbs. As long as you got to get off the carbs first, then you can go ahead and try like a 36-hour fast. And after 18, your autophagy kicks in and it cleans you up. I guarantee you all my bad cells are gone now because I just cleaned myself up. My foot's been fine, no limp. It's been stiffening up when I run in the pool. So now I'm beginning to think it's actually more of an injury than it is a gout or a food thing. I think I might have hit a ligament or a tendon in it running, and that's what the pain I keep feeling because it does stiffen up. But certainly not from eating. I didn't eat for 3 days. That's good logic of those NFL games coming. That's what I'm really strong at, Rocky, Carlos, guys, is the logic. I'm very analytical. So I figure things out, but I look at games different than you do. Everybody's bitching about Aaron Rodgers. I go, it ain't him. It's the receivers. Everybody's bitching about Tom Brady. It ain't him. That pass he threw to Jones was outstanding, and it's not Brady. He goes back to pass. There's nobody open. What in God's name do you want him to do? He's too old to really run around like Daniel Jones and these guys or Trevor Lawrence, so he's not going to run. He's in the pocket waiting, and the receivers aren't getting open. I blame the receivers. I blame the coaching staff with the bad play calls. Where was the run? Okay, did Fontenot get hurt? Where's your backup running back? You don't have one. So you don't have a backup running back, so you can't run the ball. So they just tee off on you and play you for pass, and you want to blame Tom Brady. He sucks. He should retire. And I'm like, I don't know what game you're watching, but I don't see any open receivers. I don't see Brady with a whole lot of time, and you want to blame Brady. What the fuck are you guys watching that you think Brady was the problem last night? He wasn't. All right, the interception in the end zone, maybe he thought the receiver was going to do something, and the receiver didn't. I heard him and Evans are all on the wrong pages. So if you think the receiver is going to cut and he doesn't, and you throw the interception, is that your fault? No, you expected the receiver to cut. He didn't. So a lot of the interceptions are like that. Not with Prescott. He just throws to the wrong team a lot. But that's what you have. So you have to understand that. So with that in mind, I'm going to go post these plays, Nick. And, well, we got 3 really good ones. Oof, Jesus Christ. Frisco -4. Unbelievable. I mean, I didn't see anybody. I don't see McCaffrey injured or Purdy injured. This is unfucking believable. See, this is where they're doing the market's wrong because the market's like a Dallas market. So they're trying to get, all the Dallas people will bet on them. We can keep the spread down. All the sharps like us are going, this is a fucking joke, Frisco -4. Because we don't bet emotionally. We're not going to bet Dallas because Jimmy Johnson or the Stars or their America's team. We go, fuck that. All I know is in the Pittsburgh Super Bowls, I had Pittsburgh, in Super Bowl 10, 13, I had Pittsburgh. I never touched Dallas against that team. I did win a lot on them against Denver. That was a huge lock, big bet, and they killed them. So, there's always that weak team that shouldn't get there. This year it's Dallas against the Niners. Probably the worst team. Jacksonville's number 2, and then you have the Giants, and then it's Cincy, Buffalo. I think Cincy's the number 1. I think Cincy, Frisco are the number 1 teams in each league, and that'll be the best Super Bowl, and they're the best teams. That's my thought process of looking at it. So anyway, that's what we have. Buy your gold and silver. I'm going to go buy my 1/10 ounce. It'll be $210 or so. And that's about it. I'm going to go have lunch and off to swim and post these pics. All right, everybody. Any other questions, comments? We do try to hit very open forum from Amsterdam to Vegas to football to gold. Things that are interesting to us in the class that make sense. I try to be informative in whatever it is because that's really the nature of the beast, right? We all want to know stuff, and here we can get into a group. Okay, Prophet, you take care. Okay, everybody. Good to meet Carlos and Rocky. Welcome to the class. Everybody's welcome, but if you start being derogatory, one guy was yelling at Bobby. I had to mute him because there's no room for that. Baby Moss. Hi, Baby Moss. How are you? Welcome to the class. I pretty much am just about done. It's been 2 hours. Well, I hope you enjoyed Carlos, and I hope you tell me if there's something that you want to hear or you want us to go there, then that's fine. So anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll discuss. We'll update the football and see what's going on. A little too early for injury, especially for Dallas. But keep in mind, Dallas is fucked. They had to play Monday night. Frisco played Saturday, and now here comes Sunday. You hate being a Vikings fan. Well, just don't bet on the Vikings. I bet the over in the game. I didn't bet the Vikings because I didn't like Kirk Cousins basically stinks. So I'm not a Lions fan. I'm in Detroit. That's the last team I root for. Okay, Phil, have a nice day. Right now I do them around noon, 12:30. Early afternoon for me. It works out best on my schedule for now. I tend to be up a little later and I sleep in a little bit later. And then I can kind of, grab things. So I think this is a good time. I can do them like on the weekends. I do them earlier because of the football. I want to get the line. So like on a 1 o'clock Sunday, I'll do them at 11. And on a college noon start, I'll do it at 10. I do them live so you can ask questions and comments. But that's where we're at. But see. So, Baby Moss, you got to get away from being a Vikings fan. Just be a football fan because you got to bet all the teams. You don't want to get stuck betting like the Vikings. Like I never bet the Lions. I bet against them most of the time. So you got to go with that. Well, that's, I learned long ago. It's whoever, like they asked me, what's my team? Whoever makes me money is my team. Right now, it's going to be Cincinnati and San Francisco. They're my teams. I normally like San Diego. I did lock them last week. I did win with them, but the coach has to go. You can't blow a 27-0 lead to Trevor Lawrence. My God. I could see if it was Joe Montana, okay. Trevor Lawrence, 27-0. The Cowboys are in trouble. They're not going to beat the Niners. Be careful with the Cowboys. They're all show, no heart. They're going to get their ass kicked by the Niners. Plus, they lost a day because they had to play Monday night and the game's Sunday. So it's a short week for them anyway. So that's got to hurt them. But the spread's only 4 is a fucking joke, that spread. I have it as a 10-point favorite. So I get a double teaser in this game. I got 10 down to 4, and then I go 4 to +2. So it's beautiful. All right, I'm going to get going, I guess, unless you have any other questions, comments. But let me know. Again, I do it all on the video, so you got to rewind it or however you guys see it, a live one. I assume it starts from the beginning when you do it. But I don't put commercials in it. I don't know if they give you commercials because I hate YouTube commercials. You'll start, and in the middle of a key play, they go to a commercial. You're like, what the fuck? YouTube, man, I hate the commercials. So we try to do that. I got the Cowboys. I dropped a sub. Are you talking like a Subway, like sub sandwich? I'd eat it anyway. All right, I'm about out. Oh, you subscribed. Okay, well, thank you very much. So you should get when it is on, you should get the alert. Everybody but Bobby seems to get the alert. I don't know what his problem is. All right, so I'll be on tomorrow. Again, www.teaserking.com. It's in the section of the video down where you describe it. If you want, get my email, and then we can, if you have any questions or comments, gold, silver, football, whatever you want to talk about. All right, have a great day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow right around noonish, and have a good day. All right, take care.